Bonjour, alors on se retrouve sur un live pour Genshin Impact, hein. Le live n'était pas prévu, mais je le lance quand même. Donc, attention vous allez plus rien voir. Ok. Donc aujourd'hui sur Genshin, qu'est-ce qu'on va faire? On va tout simplement chill, voilà. On va essayer de rattraper mon retard. Cette zone, on va commencer à l'explorer, voilà, c'est la nouvelle zone, on va peut-être commencer à l'explorer un jour. Je sais pas quand, en vrai, si on a le temps aujourd'hui, pourquoi pas commencer. Mais aujourd'hui, ce que je vais faire, c'est surtout rattraper mon retard sur l'escapade de Faruzan que je n'ai pas fait. Voilà, la quête de Naïda, on la fera mercredi, c'est sûr. Mais la quête de Faruzan, j'aimerais bien la faire aujourd'hui. Et l'événement aussi. Et il y a des nouvelles abysses, mais j'ai pas envie de les tester parce qu'apparemment elles sont très dures. Voilà. Et voilà, et puis faire l'événement aussi. Mais avant, on va faire comme d'habitude et faire les quêtes quotidiennes. Voilà. Alors, c'est parti. Mhm. Peut-être aller faire elle avant. Mhm.
Time to go to work.
Oh, j'en ai marre. Je me fais attaquer par tout ce qui bouge. On va grimper par là.
Happy to apply. Right here. The bond is strong.
Cascade.
Emerge. Hey!
J'en ai marre des quêtes quotidiennes. Ah bah voilà, on va terminer. Juste pour un mec qui nous dit je suis riche. D'accord.
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra. This realm is. If you ever have it.
On va revenir à Suméo. On va faire les boss hebdomadaires. On va faire lui, comme d'habitude. Par contre, lui, je le fais toujours avec mon équipe Raiden. Parce que, disons que pour casser ces trucs à la fin, là, pour les tourdir, il faut. Kazuha il est plus simple. Plus simple avec Kazuha pour détruire ces trucs qui sont en l'air. Et bon, ça, allez.
There is no escape. The wind knows.
At my command, you shall fall.
One with nature.
Feeble human.
Teamwork is strength. Illusion shattered. Inazuma shines eternal. There is no escape. That's gonna hurt in the morning. Nova, get them.
Sure.
Voilà. Phase 1 terminée. Parti pour la phase 2.
1,000 eons, mine to dominate. Kneel. Burn to oblivion!
Time to go. The wind knows me.
Reality is pain! Good riddance, cruel world.
Stay focused. One with nature.
Adventure time.
Not possible.
Going in.
Clouds high. The birds.
Torn to oblivion. Ha! Illusion shattered. Ha!
Oh, on lui fait mal.
There is no escape. Let's light it up.
I was destined for more.
On va le soigner. Puis on va aller tuer Signora. Inazuma. Je vais la battre avec ma team, Naïda. Elle est plutôt forte. Et il faut que je up Yaimiko. Parce que j'oublie tout le temps.
trembling. Is it the cold
Cold.
or just
Okay.
cowardice?
Voilà. Je comprends pas le mot qu'elle dit.
Right here. Right now. Emerge. Abonne is strong. Out of my way. The Temple of Wisdom.
Kami-sato. Suiyu.
Nothing lasts forever. Ha! Right here. Right now. Right here.
Cascade.
Into the frozen void.
Voilà.
I see everything. Right now. Right here.
Be still.
This way through.
The depth's back.
Bien sûr.
Share my
Voilà.
knowledge. Come, put up a fight.
Et par suite. Elle est où? Je la vois plus.
Right now. Emerge.
Cascade. Maybe.
I'm always watching. Right now, right here.
Ok, non, on va passer quand même. On va soigner un peu.
Committed to memory. Stand with me. Right now, emerge. Right here.
Kamisato on. Suyu, be still.
Not every wound will heal. I never asked
Voilà.
for redemption. Never.
Storm Terror, c'est le boss indémodable. Je le fais tout le temps. Tout le temps, j'ai besoin de faire de pause, donc je le fais juste pour le Battle Pass.
Shine down. There is no escape.
As one with wind and cloud.
Everybody stand.
Now you shall perish. Illusion shattered. Ha! Ha!
Sans prendre un dégât. Voilà. C'est comme ça qu'on le tue, Storm Terror. Ouais. Donc je vais retourner à Inazuma pour les formes pour Yaemiko, parce qu'il manque un truc à Yaemiko. Il manque un artefact.
Wherever in this world I roam.
C'est une couronne d'eau critique. Ok. Du coup, je vais faire 2 fois.
Everyone hold hands. Right now. Right here. Make yourselves at home. I'll settle this. This way.
The depths beckon.
I see everything. Emerge. A sight to behold. Right here. Right now. The Temple of Wisdom. This way through. Alright, my turn.
j'ai pas ce que je veux.
Right here. Out of my way! Bond is strong. Emerge. Right here.
Cascade. Mind the deluge.
Make yourself at home. Committed to right now. Right here. Right now. Nothing lasts forever. Right here. Emerge. Right now. Hey! Sharing my knowledge. Lightning terrified!
Be still.
Tant pis. Juste Yaimiko, qu'est-ce qu'il te faut? Il manque quoi? Il manque toujours ça. Il manque juste 5. Ah go aller les chercher, il manque pas beaucoup. Je sais jamais où c'est exactement, je crois que c'est là. Non. Oula. Ouais, je crois que c'est plutôt par ici. De toute façon, il y en a un peu partout à Inazuma, donc il en faut 5. 5 et j'ai plus de perso à up. Voilà. Oh. Non, là-bas. Deux. Trois. 4 et 5. Et là on peut dribbler. Voilà.
Throughout his
Voilà, on va laisser niveau 89. Aptitude, faut encore te up des trucs. C'est pour ça que je fais des Nobushi. Je le ferai peut-être après, là j'ai un peu la flemme. Alors je vais encore up ça surtout. Puis l'ulti. Toi, tout est up, donc c'est bon. Naïda, tout est up aussi. Toi, c'est ça qui est up, c'est le plus important. Ouais, donc il reste que Maya et Miko que j'ai pas up, alors que c'est la plus vieille de mon équipe. Celle que j'ai depuis le plus longtemps. Hop. Où est-ce que c'est? Là. Juste ici. On peut pas se TP. Je sais pas du tout ce que c'est cet événement, mais c'est pas l'événement principal, donc c'est pas très grave. Et attends, si je pouvais me TP, non? Ah non, on peut pas. D'accord. Ah, c'est sympa tout ça, c'est un truc de combat, je crois. Bonjour madame. Ok, on en a 3. Ah, il y en a que 4. Ok, ah, c'est parti. J'ai l'impression vraiment que cet événement il était fait à l'arrache un peu, hein, par rapport aux autres events. Équipe. Ah, on a Alaita, Meia et Nico. On va rajouter du coup Naïda et Cookie. Non, peut-être Xingshu et Cookie Shinobu, peut-être. Ouais, ça doit être bien. Non, c'est bon. On tente.
Emerge, right here.
Let me read you a verse. Rain outlines your...
Flicker. Diffract.
Emerge, right now. Emerge.
Out of my way!
I'm always watching. Right here. Emerge, right here.
Body and mind. No, my sword!
Here you are. Scatter.
Rain cutter. Our bond is strong. I'll settle this.
Emerge.
Flicker.
Item, je trouve que c'est pas le meilleur gameplay.
Right here, right now.
Oh, ouais.
Nothing lasts forever. Right here, right now. Emerge.
Here you are.
Stand with me.
A process of elimination.
Exactement, j'aime pas trop les combats d'action.
Witness the power of Goop. Our bond is strong. Out of my way!
Right here, right now. Right here.
Flicker. Scatter.
No, my sword!
Il y a plusieurs tours. Ok. Donc là on a Yae et Kokomi. Prendre Idol. Yae. Naïda et Kokomi du coup. Parti. je fais des tests subjectifs, hein, c'est un peu n'importe quoi, mais je teste.
Emerge right now. A sight to behold. Emerge.
There is no escape.
Everyone hold hands. Make yourselves at home. Allow me. I see everything. Covenant of the deep. Hold the line. Everyone hold hands. Right now. Emerge. Nothing lasts forever. Right now. Hey! Sharing my knowledge. Billowing surge. Grow, grow, grow. Make yourselves at home. Everyone hold hands. Emerge. Right here. Right now. I'm always watching. Emerge. Right now. Hey! Share my knowledge! Covenant of the deep! Allow me! Right here. Right now. Emerge. Everyone hold hands!
Torn to oblivion. Illusion shattered.
The Temple of Wisdom! Right now. Right here. Nothing lasts forever. Emerge. Right here. Emerge. Hold the line!
Now you shall perish.
Ok, donc dernier tour là j'imagine. Donc on a ça, donc on a que de nomades et Faruzan. On va peut-être faire venir toi, Raiden et Cookie. Ça peut être bien. On tente avec eux.
There is no escape. Stand with me. Truth repeats itself.
Calamity. Know your place.
Too late for regrets! Tears of the soul!
Behold.
Il est très fort le match, j'aime beaucoup.
You dare to gaze upon me?
Shine down.
Dissipate! Dare to mess with me?
Squall and fury.
En nomade, je regrette de ne pas l'avoir tout le temps. Donc est sorti.
Illusion shattered.
Have fun with this!
Je l'aime
Stand
beaucoup.
with me!
Just bow your head.
Some target practice.
Dissipate! We'll see about that!
Some target practice.
Know your place.
Raise the star. There is no escape practice.
Stand with me! Sense of respect!
The wind rises.
Raise the storm. Where do you think you're going? Target practice. Illusion shattered.
Have fun with this gift!
Unsightly insects.
Target practice.
That's far enough.
Some target practice. Torn to oblivion.
Behold.
Where do you think you're going?
Et ben voilà, on est alors. Hop. Ah, Deia. Deia et Ayaka. Oui, ça suit beaucoup, dis donc. Donc on va prendre Deia. Prendre... Jungling. Non. Ah. Deia. Jungling. Mais purée. C'est chiant. Jungling, Ayaka. Et Gokomi du coup pour le soin et l'application hydro. Vas-y on tente. Oh là là.
Rusty, Reeve, Sakura Swirl! Buckle up! Gloves off!
Whirling, hold the line. Billowing surge.
Unthinkable! Take flight! Kamisato out! Sumetsu! Let's get it on! Hi! Cha! Huh! You asked for it!
You're toast. Allow me.
My apologies! Sakura Swirl!
Je pense qu'on sent pas trop le choix d'équipe.
Mommy, buckle up! Ha! Yeah!
At the frying pan.
Whirling snow!
Feminine of the deep.
Embrace the ice! Gloves off!
Du coup j'ai pas vérifié si Deia était bien dans la bannière permanente.
Look alive!
Hold the line.
My apologies! Kamisato out! Sumetsu!
J'ai fait n'importe quoi dans ce tour, mais en même temps les persos qu'ils ont donné, c'était pas ouf. Donc là on a, ok, Utao. Ouais, je vais peut-être prendre Utao, toi, Naïda et Cookie. Vas-y on croit.
Hey. Make yourselves at home.
Quietly now. Game's up. Fun's up.
This way. Oh. Lightning. Shock.
Ouais, Utao elle est très forte, mais le problème
Huh?
c'est qu'elle perd beaucoup de vie. Moi je suis pas fan de ce là.
Committed to memory.
Busted. Stand with me. Here comes the catch.
Sharing my knowledge. I'll settle this. See?
God's over. Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey.
This might hurt a little. This way. Lightning. Shock. Committed to memory. Make yourselves at home.
Higher, higher, hands on fire!
Grow, grow, grow.
The bond is strong. Game's up. Fun's over.
See? This might hurt a little.
Quietly now.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Stand with me.
Ok. Ok, bah Ayato, je vais prendre lui, du coup. On a Ganyu. Mais pourquoi? Qu'on va prendre... Je vais prendre mon équipe de base, hein, on va pas jouer Ganyu. Hein. Ganyu, franchement, je peux pas. Je peux pas la jouer. Ah, d'accord. Salut Anna, comment ça va? Comment vas-tu?
Let's get down to
I see
business.
everything. Right now. Emerge. Right now. Lightning. Sharing my knowledge. I'm always watching. Emerge.
Let's get down to business. Kamisato on. Suiyu.
Ah, bah ça va, ça va. Je suis en train de me remettre de ma semaine dernière encore.
Everyone hold hands. Right here.
Ouais,
Emerge.
je suis en train de faire
Right
les
now.
ventes un peu tranquillement.
Wisdom.
Stand with me.
Faut pas, c'est pas non plus le pire event, mais c'est pas le meilleur du tout, donc
Cascade.
autant faire le plus vite possible.
Right here. Right now. Hey. Sharing my knowledge. A sight to behold. Emerge. Right here.
Our bond is strong.
Be still.
Lui assez rapide, hein. Je prends des persos au pif et puis voilà. Oui, c'est ça. Il est sympa, on teste les persos et puis c'est tout. Il est sympa juste pour tester les persos en vrai.
Stand with me.
Mais bon, après, dans cet event, les persos ils sont moins bien up que dans les events précédents. Parce que dans les events précédents, ils étaient toujours niveau 90, là ils sont juste que niveau 80, c'est pas beaucoup, je trouve.
Make yourselves at
Pour
home.
les tester à leur plein potentiel. Que franchement, avoir la médaille dorée, c'est pas compliqué.
Right here.
Cascade.
Committed to memory. The Temple of Wisdom.
I may have over.
Our bond is strong. I'll settle this.
Adept back.
Roll.
Voilà. Voilà, médaille dorée, alors que j'ai fait n'importe quoi. Bref. Allez, encore un. Et on va passer sur l'escapade de Faruzan. Alors... Ah, Sino et... Mais non, mais pourquoi? Pourquoi s'ils mettent Sino et Tainari dans le même truc? Je comprends pas. Ça n'a aucun sens. Hmm. Bah écoute, on va jouer Sino. On va mettre les deux, on va essayer de les jouer. Même si c'est pas les meilleurs trucs. On va peut-être pas mettre Raiden, peut-être plutôt mettre toi et toi, peut-être. Bon, on va tenter. On met des persos au pif et puis on essaye. Franchement, je comprends pas. Là, je sèche un peu là. Donc Tainari, il se joue comme ça, de ce que j'ai compris.
Allow me. Eat this.
I'll uproot you. Judgment is upon you. Your penance is due.
Franchement, viser à la manette, c'est pas non plus le pire. Enfin, après, c'est des gros mobs. Je pense que c'est plus simple.
Let's nip that in the bud. One with the force.
Franchement, le gameplay de Tainari, c'est pas celui que je préfère, mais il me dérange pas comparé à Ganyu par exemple. qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Tiens, je pense qu'il y a les trucs pour les construire. Ça va faire n'importe quoi. Après, pour la toucher, c'est un peu plus compliqué. Comme elle veut tout.
Dance with me. Be a good audience, Smoke.
Guilty. One with the forest. I'll uproot you. Nowhere to run.
Ok. Début du prochain tour. Ah, encore Deia, mais c'est pas possible. Bon, bah Deia, du coup. À prendre Deia. Yato, Naïda, et puis. Cookie, hein, écoute.
Mind the deluge. I may have overestimated myself.
Terrified. Get
Share my knowledge. Everyone hold hands.
They're dead meat. Let's get it on.
Franchement, des fois, je comprends pas trop le choix. Genre là, pas compris.
This way, Faruzan.
J'ai l'impression que cet event sont vraiment mes persos. Parce que d'habitude,
I'll settle this.
les persos à laisser, ils sont quand même assez logiques. Et là, aucune logique. Hop.
Share my knowledge.
Get with me.
Cascade. Mind the deluge.
They're dead meat. Book alive.
Commit it to memory. Make yourselves at home. I see everything.
Ouais, c'est ça, ils veulent nous vendre Deia. Et non, en fait, elle est. Désolé, mais elle est pas ouf, hein. On le voit très bien, là, je galère.
Let's get it on.
Cascade.
Non, on le voit, je galère un peu jouer Deia. C'est.
Share my knowledge.
Oh là là.
Gloves off.
Elle fait aucun dégât. Elle ne fait aucun dégât. C'est ouf quand même. Hein. Bref. Ah tiens, pour changer. Donc on va prendre Raiden. Toi. Naïda. La mienne parce qu'elle est plus haut niveau. Et on va prendre en dernier. Bennett. Allez, Bennett. Je l'ai pas encore joué Bennett.
The Temple of Wisdom. Go on my street.
All eyes on me. Go in. Shine down.
I see everything. Share my knowledge.
New punching.
Hey,
Here. Now you shall perish.
Allez. Et hop, hein, Raiden, hein, toujours.
There is no escape.
Franchement, si je devais faire un top des arcans, niveau,
This dance is for you.
niveau tout, hein, niveau gameplay, histoire, tout ça.
make yourselves at home. Commit it to memory.
Everybody
J'ai
stand
pris
back.
Raiden en premier, après je mettrai Naïda.
Shine down. Careful, dance.
Zongli et Venti. Et j'espère que l'arc confronté va passer.
All eyes
Et j'ai un peu peur qui pourrait bien s'ajouter en fait.
Illusion shattered.
Là,
Dance with me. Torn to oblivion.
il y a beaucoup de gameplay différents, donc il faut quelque chose d'original.
There is no escape.
I see everything.
Naïda, c'est original son gameplay, c'est vilain. On l'avait pas encore vu.
Dance with me.
Alors que du build on en a
Minute
beaucoup.
to memory. Make yourselves at home.
Illusion shattered. Inazuma shines eternal. Dance with me.
Go in! Let's light it up!
Let's play Turtles. The Temple of Wisdom. Here.
Et ben voilà. Voilà, bah ça je peux pas le faire. Ah, maintenant on peut se téléporter, on pouvait pas tout à l'heure. Bon. Pourquoi pas, je vais aller récupérer la quête de réputation et on va commencer l'escapade de Faruzan. Hop. C'est parti. Alors Faruzan, escapade. On commence. Faruzan, je crois qu'on l'a encore jamais croisé dans le jeu. Dans le lore.
Even though most of the academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I'm still a bit worried that the Matra might give her trouble. I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, can you head to Sumeru City and find...
Does it have to be me?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust.
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered. It's just that if...
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by yourself.
Nous, on vient d'arriver, on peut l'accompagner.
Oh, hey there.
It's been a while. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru City. Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter concerns research banned by the academia. Also, you happen to know about this situation. There are very few people I can trust to be discreet right now. After giving it much thought, I believe you're the most suitable person for this task. It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to talk about it. We'll fill you in on the details once she arrives. You might have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is Faruzan, and she's a very experienced senior researcher. Let's just say that a huge part of Kasharawar's mechanical research over the past 100 years has used her academic discourse, and she is, but she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. She only returned to the academia after being found in the wilderness a few years ago. Because of that, her current personality can be a bit strange, as is her...
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have to be scared.
I'll try.
Yes. Kasharawar and Spontamod researchers are often quite However, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. In our previous correspondence through letters, it's already past our arranged meeting time. But she still hasn't shown up. I don't think so. With her personality, it's more likely that she got Anyway, can you go with Kale to the academia and check on Faruzan for me?
Thank goodness.
I'm counting on you two. Kale, don't push yourself too hard. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really is in some trouble, come back and tell me about it. After all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll...
D'accord, donc si elle a des problèmes, on ne l'aide pas, on va dire à Tainari qu'il faut prendre une autre date pour le rendez-vous. Assez sympa, dis donc.
sorry. What did you say? Oh, could you repeat yourself?
Faruzan, I said that you need to give us an answer.
Yes. And did you forget to add madam when you addressed me
Oh
earlier?
là là. Elle a l'air arrogante, Faruzan.
Your hearing is perfectly fine. Madam Faruzan, we don't want to make things difficult for you. However, you haven't been teaching courses or supervising theses these past. Isn't this rather problematic as an advisor? Never mind the students. Even other advisors are starting.
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they have any issue with me, tell them to talk to me themselves. You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people from Haravatat. How I wish they'd put their time in.
But, Madam Faruzan, it has been a long while since you last made any practical.
Academic contribution cannot simply be divided between the tangible and the intangible. The issue here, I believe, is that the reviewer doesn't. In any case, it makes no sense to use a metric like this to evaluate a mentor. Which sage set this rule anyway? I should write a letter of.
Wait! Madam Faruzan.
That's her, all right. But the person with her doesn't look like a Matra. Shh! She hates it when people call her young! Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone. So that's why she looks the same as she did 100 years ago. Okay.
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Kasharawar would like to invite you to collaborate on this. They're wondering if you'd be interested.
Kale! Why are you here at the academia? Are you feeling better now? I'm much better, Madam Faruzan. It's all thanks to the Traveler and the Dendro Archon. Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye bags. Is that brat Tainari forcing you to stay up late again? No, it's because I'm a slow learner. It's not. It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. I'll have to give Tainari a right talking to when I see him. There's really no need. Ah, and is the person beside you the legendary
Oui, c'est moi,
traveler?
le légendaire.
Oh, I've heard
Le
much
légendaire
about you
voyageur.
before. In fact, I've been meaning to meet you for a while now. It is thanks to you, after all, that the academia is finally getting back on its feet. Even colleagues.
Madam Faruzan.
I'd wager it's those Kasharawar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to their darshan.
If you're this unwilling to
Ça me
participate in a
complimente, ça va
collaborative
toujours.
project, you can also consider
Par
teaching
contre,
a
elle, là,
class.
elle aime pas.
It might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall within Haravatat's subjects, but we can't delay
Elle a l'air
this
d'avoir du
anymore.
caractère quand même, Faruzan. Moi, je pensais quelqu'un de tout gentil, tout ça, de timide, un peu comme collègue. Mais pas du tout. Relou, la madame. Oui, c'est ça, l'autre, elle me complimente et elle, bon, vous pouvez me répondre?
You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either, it'll be
Même moi,
hard
je
for me
pensais que
to
Faruzan,
persuade
ça allait
the
être quelqu'un de
advisors and
timide, tout ça,
students
mais
who
pas
have
du
been
tout. Hein. C'est quelqu'un qui a
complaining.
du caractère, qui se laisse pas faire. Hein.
Could you not give me a few more days to consider?
Mais je trouve en vrai que son cara design,
So long already.
il est très différent des autres persos Genshin. C'est spécial.
That's precisely the issue. If you don't give an answer today, I fear that someone will soon escalate their complaints to the sages.
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainari's behest, I take it.
Ouais,
I'm
oui,
sorry,
son
but
cara
given
design
the
est
current
très beau,
situation,
mais spécial.
it looks like I'll
Ça,
have to come over some other
comparé
day.
aux autres persos, elle a un caractère de prof. C'est ça.
Of course. I shall need some time to think as well.
D'accord, bah on te laisse réfléchir alors.
What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Paradis DI. So I feel for Madame Faruzan, but if I get her in trouble with the academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do?
Ouais, on va résoudre ces problèmes d'abord.
Best for them both. I'll check with Master later and see if there's anything I can. But I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can do now is study hard, so I don't have to give you remedial. Huh? Oh yes! This way she can get her problem sorted out quickly. And then So if I also stay and help... that still sounds kind... Okay then. I have to teach students from Haravatat, or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than
Ah
I
d'accord,
am.
donc c'est une prof, mais elle veut pas donner de cours. Ok.
I think I can sympathize with them.
We're back, Madame Faruzan. The Traveler said that he can stay and help you. Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person the Traveler is. You were the one who taught Azara a lesson after all. That said, will I be troubling you? Is that so? Good. It does so happen that I do have something I need help with. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the collaborative project that Kasharawar is proposing? Honestly, I don't want to choose either of them.
Qu'est-ce qu'il doit faire?
You might have heard of it before. Haravatat is an academic faction that researches languages and runes.
Now, not was. Still am.
Yes, of course. But current Haravatat students can't really... understand her direction of research. So even if...
In summary, I mean to interpret the configurations and solutions of ruin mechanisms via the deciphering of on-site stone
D'accord. En
carvings
même temps, c'est normal qu'ils ont du mal à comprendre sa matière, elle fait pas cours.
research into general documents dealing with such ancient machines.
the research method is supported by Haravatat, yes, but the content deals heavily with both ruins and mechanisms. This will make it difficult for students of this darshan, but also there are fewer and fewer unexplored ruins left nowadays, and Kasharawar researchers have been developing their own theories on mechanisms. As such, they don't need to rely on ancient
Études en voie de
documents.
disparition.
They're far too complacent. Ancient mechanisms are more dangerous and complex than one might... I'm telling you, things weren't like this 100 years ago. All researchers back then were interested in exploring knowledge from a variety of topics. Nowadays, all people are interested in are mainstream subjects in popular research. Even if they attended my course, I wouldn't be interested in teaching them. Also, the people here think that my research is outdated and unrealistic, so they keep cutting my funding. Why, I think they could all stand to learn from Kale. She's a hard-working child and respects her elders. Huh? Why me? Ah, if only those who came to my lectures were more like you. Speaking of which, are you feeling better? You don't have to confine yourself to Gandharvaville anymore, right? I just remembered that I have a lot of studying to do. I need... Are you telling me to start a reading course for Kale?
Collègue, elle apprend à lire, elle sait pas lire.
Huh?
Wait. Although Tainari has academic dealings with the academia, he isn't considered part of it. This means that Kale isn't technically a student.
No, he's right. The old academia became consumed by their arrogance. There must surely be many people like Kale and Sumeru who are passionate about learning, but cannot study due to various reasons. The old academia paid no heed to them. But if I start a reading course for Kale as a pilot, perhaps this shall come to benefit many more people in the future.
I'll need to go back and ask if this is...
Oh, save yourself the extra trouble. I'll come with you. If there's any arguments to be had,
Oui, bah, c'est ça les escapades, hein. C'est que du blabla les escapades, c'est...
Traveler, Kale,
Il y a peut-être des combats de temps en temps, mais c'est très rare. Ok, on a fini la première partie de l'escapade. Oui, c'est ça. Bah, après, l'histoire elle est intéressante, je trouve, comparée à Aizu. Aizu, ça bougeait pas mal, mais par contre, l'histoire elle était inintéressante. Hein. Alors que là, ça va.
No, not really. Faruzan is a brilliant scholar. Even Master thinks so. If she's really going to teach me, it's just that she can get a bit too passionate sometimes. I don't know how to handle that. Maybe it's because she wants to take me in as a student? It's just like that researcher said. The academia has completely changed during... I don't really get it. But it does seem like Harabatat's students aren't optimistic about the students who are interested in mechanisms and applications of the elements. Generally in a role in Kashar, Madame Faruzan also refuses to accept random students just to make up numbers. She still hasn't found a student she likes. Even after all this time, but she seems to like my attitude toward learning, so she often asks me if I'm willing to become her student. It's because I'm a slow learner that I have
Oui, en fait, Faruzan, elle donne pas de cours parce que les élèves n'aiment pas sa matière, il la trouve trop dure, donc ils viennent pas à son cours.
It's not that. Madame Faruzan respects
C'est
my
compliqué, dis donc.
She hasn't been trying to persuade me, especially since she knows I need to rest and recuperate. She sometimes brings food to Gandharvaville for me, and each time she says that Master can't find out.
Elle a qu'à faire des cours moins chiants. C'est ça. Ah mais c'est fou ça quand même, les élèves ils vont pas à ses cours parce que ils aiment pas ses cours. Il y a même pas un élève intéressé. C'est grave quand même, je trouve. Nous on choisit pas nos cours. Hein. On choisit nos spécialités, mais c'est tout. Hein. Tu vas ton cours et tu te la fermes. C'est quoi cette académie?
The issue has been resolved. I argued with the higher-ups and convinced them of the practicality and necessity of educating the general public. If I'm not mistaken, they're the students of my classmates' students. They're a lot less forceful than their predecessors, though. I'd say they caved rather quickly.
Ouais, c'est ça, tu vas en cours et tu pleures. Voilà, tu subis. Après, de ce qu'on comprend, à Sumeru, l'académie a l'air privée. Genre, le grand public ne peut pas aller étudier à l'académie. Alors que nous, bon, l'éducation est obligatoire pour tout le monde. Alors qu'à Sumeru, non. Donc,
It's just that we need to fill in every single page of the application.
Donc, voilà.
It's been a century, but the academia
C'est un peu comme
picky as ever.
dans pas mal de pays aujourd'hui, hein. Genre surtout les pays du Moyen-Orient un peu, les pays d'Afrique aussi. Oui, c'est ça, vu notre système scolaire, on va rien dire. Oui, non, mais le système scolaire français,
What do we need to fill in?
c'est pas ouf, hein.
Course name, learning objectives, teaching methods, course materials. That's a bit too general, I'd say. After all, this class's target audience isn't toddlers or children, but rather people who are ready. As such, we'll need a more specific learning objective.
How if that's true? If we use children's teaching materials, we'll only end up wasting a lot of time on things that students would already know.
And you have your job as a forest ranger, Kale. People who attend this course in the future are also likely to have life commitments. We need more effective teaching methods.
Master always tells me that practice is the best way to learn. That's why I often ask him to help me find simple books to read.
Ouais, pour apprendre à lire, elle lit. Ouais. C'est logique en même temps.
In recent years, no? Tainari really went the extra mile for you. Expanding literacy is a capital notion. Now that the academia is easing restrictions on the circulation of books, there should be more people who have become interested in reading. It's a great time to conduct this course. So that's next on the list. I fear that I'm at a loss as to which books youngsters like nowadays. Would The Legend of Antara be too old of a story? Fair. Kale?
Me? I've been reading light novels from Inazuma.
Elle lit des romans d'Inazuma, collègue.
Allowed to sell books in Sumeru again? Some people set up stalls at Treasure Street to sell light novels. I've been meaning to go there and check it out.
Light novels? This is my first time hearing about such a thing, but I doubt I will procure suitable teaching materials from the House of Dana. Treasure Street it is.
Wait for us, Madame Faruzan.
Et ben allons chercher des romans légers.
Someone as fast as her is over 100.
Non.
Let's pick up the pace and catch up to her.
La prochaine fois dans le roi des invocations. Bon bah allons lui parler hein. Ça c'est chiant. Qu'il y ait des quêtes qui empêchent de faire d'autres quêtes. Il devrait régler ça quand même à l'avenir, je trouve. En vrai, ce qu'il devrait faire, c'est que si tu veux lancer une quête, tu dois la sélectionner, ce serait plus simple, je trouve. En plus, je dois aller plus loin, non mais plus loin encore. Ce qu'il devrait faire, c'est... Quelle horreur, ouais, quelle horreur. Parce que pareil, les quêtes d'Archon, quand t'as une nouvelle quête d'Archon qui sort, t'as pas intérêt à aller à l'endroit de la quête d'Archon, sinon tu lances les dialogues. Et franchement, c'est chiant. On devrait, genre, sélectionner la quête. Et si elle est pas sélectionnée, bah tu peux pas la lancer. Ce serait bien. Parce que c'est un peu chiant. Bonjour monsieur, vite, parlez-moi. Dépêchez. Oh, et Sino. Bonjour monsieur Sino. Dépêche-toi. Ouais, c'est plus que chiant. Il n'y a pas de mot plus fort que chiant. C'est bon? Toujours pas. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire? Prendre une photo. Une photo. Arrêtez de parler. Oh là, j'ai fini. 20 primogèmes. Bah, ça va. C'est assez rapide en vrai. On y retourne. Et c'est déjà la semaine prochaine, je crois, qu'il sort le jeu Honkai Star Rail, non?
What a long and mildly ungrammatical
Je crois que c'est
title.
mercredi prochain.
And why is the cover so colorful?
C'est ça, comme s'il n'y avait pas de droit pour prendre une photo, c'est nous qui devons la faire. Peut-être bien. Oui, je crois que c'est semaine prochaine. Attends. Mercredi prochain, on sera le combien? Calendrier. On sera le 26, ouais, c'est bien ça. Trop d'efforts pour une photo, mais oui, c'est ça. C'est nous qui devons la faire. Non, mais bon, on a gagné 20 primogèmes.
Is this your first time seeing a light novel,
Je
man?
dis pas non, mais
Oh,
bon.
they're the most popular books
Un peu
nowadays.
handicapé, monsieur.
Would you like me to recommend something?
Fine. One shouldn't judge a book by its cover after all.
Of course.
Mhm.
Why don't you try this one? It's Outlander Brigade, when the wind of death blew towards the blonde samurai.
Le samouraï blond.
I heard that this book's author describes action in vivid detail.
Ouais, c'est ça, heureusement qu'il y a les primos pour rentabiliser. J'espère que je ne serai plus bloqué par des quêtes.
But it feels like it's all fight scenes. There are only subjects and predicates. And the syntax is a tad simple.
Sujet prédicat.
The protagonist just ends up fighting in every scene with no proper build-up. Will anyone even enjoy a story that's only comprised of fights?
Des livres avec seulement des combats.
How about...
C'est vrai que ça doit être un peu
The
ennuyant,
good thing
hein,
about
lire
being
un livre avec que des
reincarnated as a
combats.
hilly churl is that I only need to eat Sunsetias to become stronger.
Bah, c'est un peu du Naruto, les mangas, tout ça, hein, c'est beaucoup que des combats. Hein.
A reincarnation isekai story? Those are pretty isekai. What in the world is that? Also, why does it become stronger by eating sense tropes? Ah, those fictional rules used to push the plot forward, yes? They're definitely effective in achieving a distancing effect. Sorry. However, this book doesn't explain how reincarnation correlates to becoming stronger. Such an illogical rule will affect the coherence of the story. Will readers really accept this?
Oui, bon, je comprends pourquoi il y a personne à ces cours, hein, elle est un peu chiante.
How about this? I had to fight...
Oh, that's the latest volume of Onibudo! Now that's a rather normal title length. Oh, Kale, do you like this series?
Yes, but I don't like it that much. Madam, are you going to use this?
Let me see. The dialogue flows quite well. Third eye of perception, illusory mirror, and so on. Are these
I also thought those names were strange when I was reading them.
It's impossible to derive the meaning of these phrases in isolation. Also, their morphological properties are quite pedestrian, really.
Oui, bah, madame, en même temps, t'as pas lu les tomes précédents, donc c'est sûr que tu vas pas comprendre.
Or did the protagonist purposely create these strange names to disorient their foes?
Maintenant, les livres, il y a plusieurs tomes et c'est une histoire qui se suit. Hein.
So there's no deeper purpose. Hi. It's quite hard to understand stories written these days.
You're right. It's such a weird book. But you keep wanting to...
Even the most popular book in Sumeru back then had greater depth than anything written today. Yes. A Bahumano researcher wrote it while researching folk legends. The plot had many twists. The world building was fantastic, and even the writing could withstand scrutiny. When it was still being published, many people in the academia were reading it. Even the sages back then all described the story as a timeless classic. The series must have concluded after so many years, right? Perhaps it's even more popular.
Is there a book like that in Sumeru? I've never heard of such a thing before. What's the title?
It's called Tales of Shariar. Do you sell it here?
Tales of Shariar? I don't think I've heard...
About 100 years ago.
100 years ago? Are you pulling my leg? What sort of book can remain
The Legend of Antara is popular to this very day, isn't it? I just heard someone telling it a few days ago, and if an old story like that is still being shared, then Tales of Shariar must be even more popular.
Even if that is the case, I really don't carry that book.
What? Is that because of the academia's strict control over books in recent... I can't believe they've allowed the people of Sumeru to become so uncivilized. How can they not know about the Tales of Shariar?
Ah là, ça me fait vraiment penser, elle me fait vraiment penser genre aux vieux dans la vraie vie qui font ah les jeunes de nos jours ils apprennent plus rien, blablabla.
Tales of Shariar. Oh wait, I think I heard an antique seller on the other end of treasure. I mean, it is a book from 100 years ago. Why don't you try asking for it?
Tales of Shariar is considered an antique now? How can the academia have let such an excellent work of literature be forgotten like this? Traveler, Kale, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's meet at the antique
C'est
sellers.
toujours les vieux qui se plaignent. C'est vrai. Allez,
Madam, wait!
allons voir l'antiquaire.
Oh, no. This is bad. You asked me why I'm scared of Madame Faruzan, right? It's not because I don't know how to respond to her kindness. It's because I'm afraid of that ancient language she researches. Because I can barely understand any of it. What if she uses ancient texts as teaching material? Even so, what if researchers from 100 years ago liked to use ancient languages in their books?
C'est vrai que le problème des livres anciens, c'est qu'on comprend pas grand-chose. Genre, ils utilisent des mots un peu compliqués. Bon, je reviens, je vais chercher un mouchoir. Voilà, je reviens. Ok. Alors, on continue l'escapade. Déjà 1h30 de live presque. Le 5e tome.
Wow, you actually found it.
I never thought this book would ever get sold.
All right, that's our teaching material secured. We also now know what to call this course. Analysis of classical texts.
Can I take a... Luckily, the language being used here isn't ancient at all.
Aucune illustration.
As long as the writing is good, readers won't need any illustrations to imagine the scenes. Worry not. I shall thoroughly explain the difficult sections. You'll like this book, I know. After all this time, I wonder if Aaliyah and Aziz ended up together. Sir, do you have the subsequent volumes of this series?
I don't think so.
Is that so? And here I thought I could finally read the ending. If I'm to use it as a teaching material, it's better to start earlier in the series. Where are the Is this series really that popular?
No. It's not popular at all.
No demand? Impossible. Back then, I'd come across at least 3 groups of people talking.
Seriously? No one told me that this book was anything special when I first got it.
Where did you get this from? Can you still contact the seller?
I'm afraid not. This book was sold together with a whole bunch of antique furniture. I didn't even notice it initially. Otherwise, the mantra would have come knocking. Wait, is this book actually worth a lot? It can't be, right?
That's impossible. No matter how strict the academia was, there's no way Tales of Shariar could have fallen in.
I do remember a passerby skimming through the book a few days ago. However, he simply...
He sighed? Why would he react like that? Given the quality of Tales of Shariar, I'm sorry. Traveler, Kale, please give me a moment. I'd like to look through this book first. Why is there another misunderstanding between Ali and Aziz? Also, why is there no and a new character is introduced with no foreshadowing at all? Also, what are all these new names and terms? Is this really the Tales of Shariar I know?
Well, that passerby reacted in much the same way. It's Mada from the cafe over there. You know, the fellow who spends all day. Since that's also a very old story, maybe he knows a thing or two about that, shit.
Then let's go ask around at the cafe. Huh?
Huh? Oh.
Eh ben, allons-y.
Another day, another...
Excuse me? But are you Mada?
Yes. Are you here to listen to my story?
Well, we actually came to ask about something else.
Toujours nous faire courir partout. Oui.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm used to it, more or less. So...
Do you know about about Tales of Shariar?
Huh? Tales of Shariar? Why, I can bear. My master always
Après, je
talked
pense
about
que
how incredibly popular that book
si
used
on
to
se
be.
ferait TP à chaque fois, à chaque
However,
dialogue,
I tried reciting a
sans
few
se déplacer,
chapters
je
of
pense
it
qu'on
at the
s'endormirait
cafe,
un peu.
and I found that it's even less popular than the Legend of Antara.
Your master?
Yes, the one who taught me how to be a storyteller. He said that Tales of Shariar was written by his
Le maître du
master's
maître de son maître.
master's
Eh ben, dis donc.
master. He also said that this great-great-grandmaster was an
Arrière,
academia
grand maître.
researcher, and that even the sages liked the series.
Ouais, voilà. Ça nous permet de rester réveillés.
He wrote 4 volumes back then, and the reviews just got better and better. You couldn't find a single person in Sumeru who hadn't read his books.
And then? What happened next? Why doesn't anyone know about Tales of Shariar now?
Oh, it's hard to tell when it comes to trends. One day everyone likes stories like that, and the next day their tastes instead of writing a
C'est vrai
proper
que les tendances,
ending,
c'est un peu
this
compliqué à
great
expliquer.
grandmaster kept trying to extend the story. To tap into popular trends, he added a lot of tropes. Then, starting from the 5th volume, the reviews started to go downhill.
How could that be? Then what happened to Tales of Shariar in the end?
In the end, there's no ending.
Ah, y a pas de fin.
The great
Ah bah, elle va être
grandmaster
déçue.
tried to write a few more volumes, following whatever trends were popular at the time, but the trends... He got so infuriated that he stopped writing altogether and focused on his research.
What? So there's no ending? The readers didn't care?
By that time, only a very small number of people. Anyway, my master probably exaggerated. How could a work possibly have been that
Ouais, c'est
popular?
ça. Toute cette histoire pour qu'il n'y ait pas de fin. Bah voilà, désolé Faruzan, tu ne connaîtras jamais la fin.
The only tangible thing my great-great-grandmaster left is the original draft. He also left behind many theses from his research phase. When my master talked about Legend of Antara, he'd even quote... My master is a much better storyteller than me. Even when we're telling the same story, but even he won't recite Tales of Shariar due to its ever-changing writing style and its lack of an ending.
So, Antara's story is the one that lasted...
Well, not even sages can definitively ascertain the quality of something like a story. In the end, only time can separate...
Only time? Madame Faruzan? It's been 100 years. Perhaps some things I once believed to be great aren't so after all.
Yeah! Master helped me find a lot of famous books at first. But in the end, no matter how good those stories are, I can't improve my skills if I can't bring myself to read them in the first place. I think the best books for me are the ones I like.
Huh. And that
C'est
is
vrai
true.
qu'apprendre à lire et lire des
Readers'
trucs que
interests
t'aimes
in
pas.
trends of a time are not things that are so easily predicted. What was popular 100 years ago could be completely forgotten in modern times. And yet, 100 years, as far as history is concerned, is but a blink of an eye. If Tales of Shariar hadn't chased after trends and instead stuck to its original style from start to finish, it might have stood some chance of gaining renewed popularity. No, even if that didn't happen, at least it would be a work that was true to itself.
Huh? Our conversation just got a lot more...
I don't really get what you're talking about, but it does sound sensible. Looks like I also have to hang in there and tell Antara's story.
How unseemly. I almost got carried away because of a single book. Well then, we should get back to the matter of our teaching material. It looks like we can't use Tales of Shariar now.
Ah oui. Du coup, utiliser la légende d'Antara.
No, it's much too old.
C'est trop ancien. Bon, elle est chiante. Elle veut un livre classique, mais pas trop ancien.
Kale, you found a book that you liked at the bookstall? Yep.
Yes, but I don't really...
Then we'll use that book as our teaching material. Now that I think about it, Using a book that you like is... As for the academia, as long as we come up with an appropriate course name, we should be able to get away with this. My, it sounds like you've dealt with the academia before. Now then, let's return to the book fair in a bit and buy the latest volume of this Onibudo for Kale.
Ah bah voilà, finalement je vais aller acheter un livre
Use it
d'Inazuma,
as teaching material, I have to read
un
it
livre de
first.
Yaemiko, de la chambre Yae.
Speaking of which,
Et en parlant de
other than
Yaemiko,
third
j'espère
eye of
vraiment
perception
qu'ils vont
and illusory mirror, I also espy
lui
some
refaire un
unfamiliar
rerun
phrases from the reader's
dans
messages
pas
at the
longtemps.
back of the book.
Apparemment la prochaine version, ce serait une version avec que des reruns d'Inazuma. Apparemment. En 3.7.
Such things as... Even if it reminds me of my dark history, I still can't help but be drawn in by the story. And why do people use dark history to refer to awkward or embarrassing memories? Is this some slang that was invented in the last century?
Ouais, sur la bannière 3.7, il y a beaucoup de trucs et c'est jamais les mêmes. Ça change beaucoup. Mais moi, le truc que j'ai vu, c'est qu'on aurait apparemment les runs de Yoimiya, Kazuha, Yaemiko et Alaitam. Bon, Alaitam, je sais pas ce qu'il fout là, mais...
Oh, I can tell you what that's all about. Apparently, in their youth, some people used to imagine themselves as
Et le
someone
nouveau perso, 4
burdened by
étoiles,
fate,
j'ai plus son nom.
fighting against the world, etc.
Oui, c'est ça, Alaitam, je comprends pas trop ce qu'il fout là. À la place d'Alaitam, il pourrait mettre genre un perso d'Inazuma, comme... je sais pas, un rerun de Raiden, peut-être.
But as they grew older, they started to
Parce que
become
Raiden, ça fait un moment
embarrassed
qu'elle est
by such
plus
memories.
sortie.
Some would write
Je
those
crois.
fantasies
Je
into
suis pas sûr.
novels, while others would...
Mata, you know, I suddenly have the urge to hear a story about Antara.
Klee et Eula pour la deuxième phase. Bah, en vrai, ce serait plus logique qu'ils mettent Klee et Eula en 3.8, hein. Vu que la 3.8, ce sera la dernière version avant Fontaine. Ah oui, avec Ayato, oui, c'est vrai, Raiden est sorti avec Ayato. Klee et Ayaka. Bon, en vrai, ça n'a pas de sens, parce que si c'est une version d'Inazuma, pourquoi est-ce qu'ils mettraient des persos de mon stat? Je comprends pas. Ouais, c'est ça. Oui, les gens ils sont au bout de leur vie parce que là elle a disparu. En vrai, je pense que mettre Eula juste avant la sortie de Fontaine, en 3.8, du coup, la dernière version, ce serait mieux, je trouve. Après, je sais pas. Parce que très souvent, les versions avant les nouvelles régions, c'est le truc de l'été là, sur l'île, sur l'archipel de la Pomme Dorée. Et ça, c'est avec les persos de mon stat à chaque fois, donc enfin presque à chaque fois. En vrai, ce serait logique. Et puis en même temps, ils nous mettent un skin là, pour bien marquer le coup. Après, pour l'été, il y aura sûrement Kazuha comme d'habitude. Ouais.
I knew it. There will always be
Après,
people
Kazuha,
who love
il
the
est déjà
golden
apparu dans
oldies.
l'événement de l'archipel de la Pomme Dorée de l'année
Now,
dernière.
let me tell you
Donc ce serait
all
bien de
about
prendre
the
des
ancient
nouveaux persos,
hero,
non?
Antara.
Et puis Kazuha, franchement, son histoire, elle a... Ah bah voilà. Ah bah c'est déjà fini. Ok. On a déjà fini une partie. Bon. Et puis Kazuha, franchement, il n'y a plus grand chose à raconter sur lui, hein. On connaît déjà toute l'histoire de sa famille, tout ça. En vrai, je vois pas ce qu'ils peuvent faire de plus avec Kazuha. Alors, donc ici c'est fait. Donc, il nous reste 2 chemins. Ah, donc on va trouver du coup.
What now? She seems so busy.
autant de trucs
The
dessus.
master said there's I feel for Matt, but if I get her in trouble.
Bon, ça on l'a déjà lu, donc autant pas le relire.
If the academe, do you have some way to invite her over to parties, DI, without stepping? Okay then.
Huh. I have to teach students from Haravatar.
Madam Faruzan.
Please, Madam Faruzan. Huh?
Why, that lad didn't...
Yeah.
Wait. Also, there...
A fully
A fully autumn...
Precisely. I saw a similar...
A mechanism?
Fret not.
An official proposal. I'll go inform my...
Sure. I'll be... Phew. I think she bought it. Even though this is our first meeting.
Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madam Faruzan?
Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising.
Huh? Then how will we...
I'll let
Ah non,
Tainari
on n'a
worry
pas
about
eu
whatever documents we might need to send to the
ce dialogue.
academia. If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than
Après, je pense qu'on aura plus de
nonsense.
précision sur les reruns et tout en deuxième phase de version. Parce que là, on est encore en début de version, donc en début 3.6, donc ça reste tout très flou.
Master, we're back!
You don't have to shout. I can hear you. Well, you got here much faster than I expected. I thought you'd have a lot...
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to, pawn up...
On to others? What does...
we can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the thing you mentioned in the letter, right?
Oui, c'est vrai, au Yoverse, ils aiment bien tout changer à la dernière minute. Mais en vrai, si la 3.6, c'est les nouvelles voix de Tainari, est bien, je trouve. Ouais, la nouvelle voix de Tainari, oui. Je suis d'accord. En vrai, j'ai pas vraiment vu la différence, j'ai pas vraiment vu que c'était une nouvelle voix. Donc franchement, ils ont bien trouvé. Ça s'entend quand même que c'est pas la même personne, mais...
That's right. Please,
Mais franchement, ça
follow
va.
me.
Après, sur tout ce qui est voix, tout ça, on peut faire confiance à Oyoverse. Hein. Ouais, c'est ça, quand tu sais pas, c'est pas flagrant. Mais Oyoverse, on peut leur faire confiance pour tout ce qui est voix, tout ça. Ils sont très forts. Carcata.
A monster?
Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved a while back. It's the final work of a late junior of mine.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by himself. It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If he were still
Avons-nous déjà
around,
un perso
we
avec
could
une
probably
mauvaise
chat the
voix?
day away. What a shame.
Comme ça... Non, je crois pas. Je crois pas qu'on ait de perso avec des mauvaises voix. Ils ont tous des bonnes voix. C'est tous des bons acteurs, tout ça. Donc ça va.
Something seems wrong here. Have you been maintaining it? Mechanical life forms are much more fragile than...
Is Karkat?
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. It could be an old malfunction acting up again. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Karkata's energy supply module. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further. But Madame Farah...
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created using techniques from alchemy, elemental science. There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge of mechanisms will not serve here. You know that as well. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of mechanical life forms is going to be of any use to our little crab friend here. Carcata. Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space. Before I do a thorough check, everything we've just said is but conjecture.
All right. We're counting on...
Allez, allons voir Tainari.
We'll wait here till Faruzan finishes her inspection. In the meantime, I'd like to talk to you about her. Her past, huh? Quite a few people in the academia know about what happened to her. I've told you before that she had disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, trapped might be a more apt description. Her exact words were...
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall to wall. I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate the traps to escape the ruin, but there was no way out. I lost track of time and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, I had to use stone shards to write on the walls and on the floor to decipher the code. Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. I had to calculate all the possibilities. After that, my memory started to become fuzzy, and my cognition slowed down.
She doesn't remember anything else, including the location of the ruin, and how she finally managed. When she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, she was in a stupor and struggled to form sentences. Only after a lengthy... The academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown ruin, and because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to crack the trapping mechanism, and though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew and everyone who knew her. In the end, even the academia had to rely on century-old records
Et
and
le nouveau
Akasha
perso là, qui doit
to confirm
sortir
her
en
existence.
3.7 du coup, maintenant. C'est un 4 étoiles, non?
Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't
Non,
want
j'ai plus
others
son
to
nom.
pity her because of
Mais ouais, c'est un
past
4
events. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error.
Un chef
As a
acteur
researcher,
Inazuma, ouais, c'est ça.
she must accept everything that results from her experiments, even if they don't fall within
En
expectations.
oui, bah, son chara design il est sympa, à voir son gameplay après.
Even after going through so much, she's returned to Sumeru and still hasn't given up on her research.
T'as vu des leaks de son gameplay? Ah non, j'ai pas vu.
Due to changes over the years and drift in academic
Genre,
subjects,
c'est quoi son
she
gameplay?
holds some
Est-ce
rather
que déjà ça
strong
a un rapport
opinions about the current academia, and she has no shortage
les
of
chats, non?
detractors herself.
Ce serait sympa que ça ait un rapport avec les chats un peu.
What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, she has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance...
Master, Madame Faruzan's done.
Ah, elle se met dans une boîte et elle avance. Bah, faut que je vois ça, moi.
Oh, let's head over. With any luck.
Il faut que je vois ça.
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. Abatui really installed quite a few impressive things, if my guess is correct. This mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before, right? Such as collecting parts to repair itself, for instance?
Attends, je vais aller voir sur YouTube si je peux trouver des leaks ou sur internet. Des leaks de son gameplay, puis... Ah. Alors désolé, je réponds à un message important. C'est pour la danse. Il Et après, je regarde si je trouve un leak. Ok. Alors Yoshi, où est-ce que c'est là? Ça fait déjà 1 heure qu'elle m'a envoyé le message, je lui réponds que maintenant. Elle me l'a envoyé à 14h. Un peu avant 14h. La pauvre. Elle m'a envoyé 2 messages en me disant réponds-moi le plus vite possible, s'il te plaît. Tac 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 tac. Alors, Genshin. Leak 3.7 du coup. Où est-ce que je peux trouver ça? Leak Fontaine, non, c'est pas ça, je veux pas ça. Ah, Momoka, c'est ça, je crois, non? Non, c'est pas ça. Il s'appelle comment? Je sais plus. Ouais, c'est ça. Bah, elle a attendu un peu, je lui ai répondu. Attends, je vais aller voir vite fait son blaze. Ah, non, bah, moi, j'avais pas vu Momoka. On va aller voir. Kirara, voilà, c'est ça. Kirara. Euh, Genshin. Kirara. Leak. Je veux voir son gameplay, s'il vous plaît. Gameplay. Juste voir une vidéo. D'habitude, je les trouve en 5 minutes. Et tu vas me dire que je vais pas les trouver. Non. Kirara, t'es où? Ouais. Sandandro d'Inazuma. Non. Je suis en train de me faire une description du perso. Bah écoute, je trouve pas. Attends, je vais aller voir sur Google. Genshin. Kirara. Leak. Gameplay. Sur Twitter, ouais, sur Twitter, je vais sûrement trouver. Là, j'ai un problème, j'ai les images, elles veulent pas charger. Écoute, Twitter. Twitter. Non, pas Twitch, Twitter. Genshin. Kirara. Que je vais réussir à trouver une vidéo de gameplay. Ouais, Ligue des bannières, ok. Du coup, non, Jean, ça n'a rien à voir avec Kirara. Ah, c'est donc ça, tous les mêmes d'un chat dans un colis. Je comprenais pas. Bah, écoute, je trouve pas. Hein. La vidéo, est-ce qu'elle est du Fortnite? Non, mais ça n'a rien à voir. C'est elle le chat dans un colis, d'accord. Là, leak gameplay. Ah, est-ce que... Oui. Alors, ok, ils sont en train de montrer comment les cours. Bah merci, mais ça m'intéresse pas ça. Ok, ces attaques. Ok, donc elle se bat avec une épée à une main. Ça va en vrai? Oui, c'est bien, j'aimerais bien avoir ces autres attaques. Wow. Ok, donc elle met un bouclier. Elle jette des colis sur les gens. Ok. Et elle se met dans un colis et elle court. Ok, oui, d'accord. Ok, bon, donc ça a l'air d'être un shield. Hop, je me mouche. Franchement, elle a l'air marrante, je trouve.
It used them for something else, but as far as its design goes, it does have a function like that.
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, the biggest issue lies with its restitution module. Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the principles as I know them. They are all based on principles learned from the ruins. The creators of the ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass it.
Franchement, à voir si elle est plutôt forte, Kirara, mais
The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts.
après, ça a plutôt l'air d'un perso fun qu'autre chose.
It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However,
Et puis encore une fois, je le répète, mais ils aiment bien tester du gameplay avec les 4 étoiles. Ouais, ça a juste l'air d'être un perso fun. Ils aiment bien tester des nouveaux gameplays avec les 4 étoiles. Et ils vont pas faire ça avec des 5 étoiles. Si le gameplay 4 étoiles y plaît, bah ils vont le mettre sur un 5 étoiles. Mais
Energy consumption?
genre tous les gameplays loufoques, what the fuck, tout ça, un peu marrant, c'est les 4 étoiles qui les ont. Les 5 étoiles, des 5 étoiles dans des boîtes. Mais genre jamais tu verras un 5 étoiles avec un gameplay aussi drôle, on va dire. Les 5 étoiles, ils sont là pour être forts et tout, pour être sérieux, comparé aux 4 étoiles, j'ai l'impression. Et je trouve ça dommage parce que j'aimerais bien aussi avoir des 5 étoiles amusants. Parce que Deia elle est pas forte, mais elle est pas amusante. Hein.
And even the function of other
tout.
organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt wasn't widely adopted. Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear. This is going to be based on my current research. I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the restitution module to repair Karkata. But like I just said, the module is rare, even by the standards of ancient machines. Not only that, but there is very little related research documentation available. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert.
Payer, c'est de la
To say
déco,
nothing
oui,
of the
c'est ça.
difficulty in making those parts from scratch.
Et puis encore, c'est pas non plus une très bonne déco non plus. C'est... J'aime beaucoup Deya, mais...
Wonder where Abatui found that.
I might have an idea. Abatui was,
Et
for
voilà.
a time, quite
J'ai rien d'autre à
passionate
dire.
about excavating the Great Red.
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert? But the desert's huge! How are we supposed to find the parts that Karkat... According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years.
Le perso est cool, le
If
reste
we
non.
want to try
Ouais,
our
c'est ça.
luck, we'll have to explore ruins that have never been explored before.
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided. They are now
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries lately?
The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective than running around like headless chickens.
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the Hypostyle Desert. Let's go look for him once Karkata settles.
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Karkata's condition may be stable, but it would still be better if some of us stay to... Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that the Academia...
Trouble from the Academia? I thought you...
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. I look forward...
Ok. Là, il faut aller dans le désert. Est-ce qu'on aura un peu de combat quand même?
What is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further. That still won't do. Mr. Raid told us to keep people away from the ruins so they don't damage the site.
Damage the site? I've excavated more ruins than you've visited restaurants. Which batch of students is Raid from?
He isn't at the campsite now. You should all leave. Only he can give you...
What a stubborn guy. You're right. Even if there is new information, we still have to wait for him to come back so we can ask him. I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to when he gets back.
Ok, bah allons parler aux gens du coup.
The ruins. Don't know anything.
Toujours à brailler,
We were only hired to
toujours.
deliver water and supplies to them. Forget excavation.
Franchement, la Paimon,
Let's get close to the
pour cette
camp
escapade, elle est pas là. Hein. Elle a disparu.
This area
Ouais,
used to be
Paimon a fait
ravaged by
dodo.
frequent
Elle
sandstorms,
prend un peu de
but
congé.
it's been calm lately for some reason. They say that this was done by a single traveler, but seriously, this...
Ok.
That machine looks amazing. Could it be the legendary... The location seems to fit too.
Well, I found
J'ai
out
pas eu le temps de
everything I
lire.
could. Is there anything that stands out to you? Ruin Wanderer. That's the first time I've heard that name. But that record, it's a bit far away. And I can't really say for sure from this distance.
Huh? What are you guys doing back here? I wouldn't blame you for not knowing about it, youngsters. After all, it's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed through various ruins for centuries. Many adventurers had claimed. Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruin. Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it in Sumeru. No one has seen it since then. You youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays, but it was famous for centuries.
Pendant plusieurs siècles. T'es sûr de ça, monsieur? Tu sais qui est-ce que tu as devant toi? Tu as Faruzan qui a plus de 100 ans. Donc si elle en a entendu parler, donc si elle n'en a jamais entendu parler, c'est que ça n'existait pas il y a plusieurs siècles. Hein.
I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Wait, back then?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. Why do you think that wreckage is the ruin?
Well, I had also heard that second...
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they got drunk, right?
Who are you?
Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'm Raid, the one who organized this archaeological expedition. I'd heard of you at the academia, but I didn't expect
pour le remettre à sa place, c'est ça.
Truly, it is an honor.
Et puis elle est là. Non mais c'est pas possible, ça ne date pas d'il y a plusieurs siècles, cette légende.
And this must be the famous traveler I presume.
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've been investigating?
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found anything noteworthy, even though...
Really? That Ruin Wanderer isn't noteworthy?
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes wish that those people would put as much...
You're right, sir.
The wise do not buy into rumors, so it is said. I believe that you too, Madam Faruzan, do not...
It is also said that real knowledge shall come from practice. I can help you research the excavated relics, and you can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe this offer to be sufficiently attractive.
In truth, I could ask for nothing. However, you two must be tired after a long journey. I'd feel bad if I set you to work immediately. It's getting late and my subordinates and I are heading back to the camp to rest. Why don't you find a place to spend the night first? We can continue our discussion tomorrow. There's a tent that the villagers occasionally use.
Since you need to rest as well, let's do...
Bon, allons nous reposer.
This is quite far away. Are they trying to prevent the villagers from eavesdropping on them?
Mais oui, on a plein d'élan, on a pas besoin de dormir.
Fine, though. This way, they won't overhear our conversations either.
Les légendes se reposent peu.
Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological expedition team and that machine wreckage. But based on the condition of the armor and joints, it didn't seem like something that had been lying around for centuries. At most, I'd estimate that it only stopped... Yes, the timing coincides with the spreading of the legend. Now, assuming that it really is the... How do you suppose it was able to maintain a relatively good condition despite high-intensity operation over the course of... That's right! Technically speaking, the marshal shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before. Well, this was over 100 years ago. It was a machine about the same size as Carcata, actually. It couldn't carry heavy objects or fight, and was only able to... It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is why I wondered if there might be more restitution modules buried around here. Honestly, people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing enough power for all I know. I'll need to research this properly. Had I confronted Raid right there and then, he would have said that he couldn't tell that the machine was special. Then he'd just hand it over to the Academia obediently, and he'd get away scot-free. If the wreckage were to be handed to the Academia, it'd be much tougher for us to do research on it or get spare parts for Carcata. Anyway, we should figure out what they're planning before making our next move. They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fast one on us, they're likely to try tonight.
C'est vrai que j'ai pas pensé ça. Pourquoi est-ce qu'ils voulaient à tout prix qu'on se repose?
Are those sounds coming from the excavation site? I knew they wouldn't be able to wait. They must be scared that we might discover not a single person guarding the campsite. This must be quite... I'll see if they left any clues behind at their camp. Keep watch and help me stall them if it comes to that. All right. I'm counting.
De toute façon, tout le monde est louche dans Genshin. part les persos jouables.
Why isn't the tent here yet? We need to switch it out.
It's still on the way. I'm afraid this is the first time we're...
You good-for-nothings are just a load of trouble, aren't you? We wouldn't have to deal with these interlopers if you had kept those lips of yours from flapping. Hurry up and hide our current tent and deliver the new one to me
Huh? Who's there?
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing their jobs properly. It's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our tents from the last campsite. Someone damaged our current tent, so I'm trying to get my subordinates to get one from that previous campsite. The relics in the ruins are highly valuable, so I'm worried that treasure hoarders and bandits might try to steal them. Since the tent isn't here yet, and I can't...
C'est ça, tout le monde se ressemble. Tout le monde a la même gueule. À part les persos jouables. C'est ça.
Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always be people interested in buying them. I hired so many people. Speaking of which, I'd like to ask, is the Academia really aware that... Also, where's Faruzan?
I'm right here. Also, you
Vous avez
forgot
oublié
to
de
address
m'appeler
me
madame.
as Madam.
Sorry. Matt.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on. But for some reason, that one task...
I'm very sorry for disturbing your rest. I'll tell my subordinates to be quieter on patrol.
Good. Come on, Traveler. Yes, we came to check out the situation, didn't we? We should get better rest so that we'll have energy to investigate tomorrow.
Allez. Qu'est-ce que Faruzan a trouvé?
Thanks for dealing with them. Now, I found something good on my end. These are the excavation records from their campsite. According to them, the ruins have been raided before, with numerous... I also observed the wreckage up close earlier. The weathering is nowhere near as extensive as on the relics that have been buried for... There's no doubt that the wreckage in the ruins don't belong to the same era. Instead, it could have fallen into a trap or encountered a glitch within the ruins, remaining stationary like that until it was discovered. However, I still don't know why they'd want to hide it. I have no doubt that the researcher could definitely reach... The last few pages of the excavation records are written in code, which I still need time to decipher. The answer may lie within those pages. It's just wordplay. And if anything, that... Just a bit more.
Help! Please help!
Ah. Ah bah ils l'ont mis en route.
Why are you running away? Come back!
What's that sound? The Ruin Wanderer? That's impossible! Is this the work of some kind of hidden mechanism? Never mind, we have to... What? It ignored the trap?
Why is it chasing after us?
Ils sont pas doués. Et le robot, il a l'air de s'en foutre de nous, il poursuit les autres.
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear that we can't escape.
Ah. Et c'est désactivé.
It stopped?
Hey, you guys, get up.
But what if it suddenly moves?
You good-for-nothings. Why is everyone I hired so... Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the load of functioning anymore after years of disrepair. When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as amazing as the legends had pegged it to be. I didn't expect it to be so much...
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because you won't be able to sell it for much?
Faruzan, you may be my senior as an academia researcher, but that doesn't mean...
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? Or perhaps calling it a ledger might jog your memory a bit better. January 3rd, January 5th, 3 January 10th. One special tent pre-sold. It must quickly be switched out. You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you are, secretly selling the relics and profiting from it.
Ah, ils revendent des reliques. Eh bah dis donc. Génial, toujours une histoire d'argent encore.
When you believed that you had found the wreckage of the Ruin Wanderer, you tried to switch in wreckage that you had excavated previously to pull the wool over the Academia's eyes. After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary Ruin Wanderer in the black market. Yes? That forced you to speed up your plan, and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could investigate the wreckage. In your haste, however, you accidentally activated the
I don't know what you're talking.
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor do you have respect for mechanical life forms.
Ridiculous. Curiosity? Respect? I'm not here to hear you preach.
Mr. Aid!
Behind you?
Ah oui, il se réactive. Bah d'accord, je pense qu'il est mort. Ah non, il s'est fait kidnapper. Ah non, il est mort.
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why.
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life form. Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It can...
Why is it chasing after us?
So you've been looking for me this whole time?
Ah. Oulou.
Long time no see, Tamimi.
Ah, c'est ta Mimi.
Dear Faruzan, I hope you're doing well. It has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the Academia keep telling us to give up and that you're most likely dead. But somehow, I feel like you're still alive. Yes, you've always been persistent, able to shine no matter what situation you face. I believe that this persistence serves you well and unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. I don't have much time left, and my reflexes have slowed. Only Tamimi is still the same as before, always running off to places which your teacher and friends came up with an idea to remodel Tamimi, so it can search for you in our... You didn't like coming home back then, and would always get Tamimi to send a letter back. Now we're leaving a letter with Tamimi. I wonder if I don't know the answer to that question, but if you ever read this letter, I hope it'll be when you've already found your way home. I regret not being able to say this to you myself, but I'll still feel sincerely
welcome home, Faruzan. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed so much after all. I've safely received the letters. Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then. When I would go on when I met with that accident, it was on the way to deliver a letter for me. I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, upgrading it to... And so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome dangerous traps, it repaired and modified itself using parts it found along the way. Tamimi, which used to be incapable of even moving heavy objects, became the Ruin Wanderer. Also, it could deliver these last letters from them to me. The strain to support such a huge body must have turned out to be too much for your... Even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfectly in perpetuity. It has been pushing itself beyond its limits over the past few decades. Just like a living being, mechanical life forms have a limited lifespan. It probably became trapped in the ruins all those years ago because it most likely only reactivated because it detected my presence. And then it mustered up everything it had to deliver that last letter. Tainari told you what happened to me. You don't have to apologize. It's not like this. Besides, I've always treated it as a failed experiment. As a researcher, I must... However, finding out that so many people were affected by my failure... Can you head back to Pardis DI first? We've been here for a while, and it's best not to make college. As for me, I want to stay with Tamimi for...
Allez, on retourne voir Collègue.
Right now, right here. Emerge.
You're back!
Ah, how was your journey through the desert?
Ah, est-ce qu'on garde le secret? Allez, on lui raconte la vérité.
Oh no. She finally got to
As a researcher, she could perhaps accept it. However, as we should give her some time. And in the future, I hope that we can be here to support.
I'm back! What? Is there to be no welcoming?
We've all been waiting for you, madam.
That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch these out with the ones Karkata is using right now, and it'll be back in ship shape. Huh? Why do you all look so solemn? Madam Faruzan, did these... Come now. I thought that you must have encountered some major problem. Well, it looks like you already know everything. But no need to feel bad. Like I said before, Tamimi had been operating beyond capacity for a century, and I'm unable to repair it with my current abilities. Not even with these parts. As a senior, it is only right that I do something for the people who come after me. That holds true for both... Besides, I didn't say that I would be giving you these parts for free. They will only be used for Karkata temporarily. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to help me with my research. I'll be sure to revive Tamimi once I've fully deciphered and replicated the creations of the ancient civilization.
All right. I'll do my...
Me too. Although, I'm not sure... Thank you. If they could remodel Tamimi successfully even back then, and when that day comes, I'll be sure to say, welcome home, Tamimi.
Et ben voilà. Ok, 2 sur 5. Donc on a fait l'histoire en bas. Salon. Ouais, donc il nous reste un chemin en bas. À mon avis, ce sera le chemin où on va devoir cacher le secret, peut-être.
You're back.
Ah.
On garde le secret.
So, Madame Faruzan has some other things to settle. All right.
Madame Faruzan will be able to repair Karkata.
Patienter un jour.
I'm back. What? Is Madame Faruzan? That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch.
So this is a relic of an ancient civilization.
Unscrupulous, huh? Sounds like you already told them what happened. Is that so? Thank you. It's nothing. I've already given all the evidence we have against Raid to the Academia. They're going to be very busy. Too busy to... I'll start repairing Karkata then. Kale, can you help me out? Of course.
Ah voilà. Il est réparé maintenant.
Ah, you're here. Thank you for keeping Tamimi a secret. If I tell them about Tamimi, will they still feel happy for Karkata? Even if we could convince them to accept the components, though I don't want my past to affect people in the present. That applies to both me and other people. It's fine. I'm used to it. I once believed that I'd never hear from my old friends and family ever again. Even their face. However, I could remember them clearly again after reading the letter Tamimi handed to me and learning that they'd never given up on me. I'd be disappointing them if I let myself fall into a slump because of this. Neither my teacher nor my mother. Besides, you're lending a listening ear to me now. Oh, Pardeus DI looks pretty scenic at night. What? Once Karkata's condition stabilizes, I'll find a chance to tell Tainar. But for now, just help me keep this secret. Thank you. Whether it's 100 years ago, I suppose I should consider myself quite fortunate. The only time when I felt otherwise was when I had just returned to Sumeru. No one came to check up on me. Yeah, I'm home.
Ok. Donc il en reste 2 à faire. Donc là, de ce que je comprends, c'est que au milieu. Il faut trouver la voie du milieu. Là, il n'y a plus rien, ouais. Il faut trouver la voie du milieu. Allez, c'est parti, on va faire les choix qu'on n'a pas encore fait.
Personally.
Oui, plus qu'une voie.
No,
On y est presque.
so busy. Master said there's no feel for back, but if I get her into
Du coup, on va pas lire, on a déjà tout lu. Et donc là, la réglation de problème. Est-ce que c'est ça la nouvelle voie? On verra. Je vais faire tous les choix que j'ai pas fait.
We're back, Madame Faruzan. The traveler said that. Oh, why I could not. Is that so? Good. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Hara? I don't know if Tainari's told you about this before.
On essaie de ça la deuxième
Research
fois.
involves learning about ruins and the mechanisms within them. I don't belong to Kasharawar, which specializes in researching mechanisms. Nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow. Instead, I'm part of Haravatat, which specializes in languages and scripts.
She has been invited to Kasharawar multiple times to continue her research, but she's rejected them each time.
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Kasharawar will be the only Darshan with the ability to research mechanisms. Besides, the current Kasharawar is more concerned about how mechanisms can be used in everyday life, while my research involves textual analysis of ruins. If they're trying to use the collaborative project as an excuse to have me reconsider again...
No, that's not it. The request this time is from Makara Crafts. The representative of Kasharawar recommended you to them, Madame Faruzan. In truth, she told me...
Oh! Putting aside my ideological differences with Kasharawar, I suppose I must acknowledge this attitude of theirs. At the very least, they're bounds above those decrepit... Yeah! Akara Crafts is a pretty... Well, since both of you feel as such, I shall first...
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early learning toys that will
des jouets
cultivate
d'éveil.
curiosity and learning in children.
Early learning toy.
The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that these toys can help children become excellent researchers and...
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood. If the children start learning now, perhaps like Madame Faruzan, you still haven't found...
Anise, Kasharawar's representative, should be staying in the inn at Port Ormos.
Port Ormos? Now there's a place I haven't been to in a long time. I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far from here. I should... No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with everything here, I'll head over to Pardistii. Thank you. Why, I'd even call this a rare...
Eh bien c'est parti, allons-y. Allons au port.
Right here.
Madame Faruzan! Oh. All right, calm down. Let me be clear. I'm still, after all, you're here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration. The reputation of all research is at stake here, so I will not simply stand by should mistake...
Either way, it's good that you were willing to come. Now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days. However, their owner thinks that our designs are too complicated.
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep costs low. How enviable. Oh,
If you join the Kasharawar, your budget will be as big as you want it to be. I guarantee it.
That's enough. I will not repeat myself. Take me to a car.
All right. He's usually at the slope up ahead recruiting volunteers to test out his toys. Let's just head over.
Ah, allons tester les jouets. Bon.
Mamdu, the one I recommended is here.
Oh, so you're...
Yes, that's me.
Ah, wonderful. We haven't been able... We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anis thought that those ideas were too simple and wouldn't be effective in...
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future researchers, after all. If they're too simple, then how are they any different from regular toys?
En fait, faut qu'il soit pas trop dur à utiliser parce que c'est utilisé par des enfants, mais faut pas que ce soit trop simple non plus.
But if they're too
Ah bah ça a l'air compliqué vos
not
jouets.
only will they be expensive to produce considering our production capabilities, but they won't have much broad appeal to...
So the design can't be too complicated, but it can't be too...
I remember that in your notes. Many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions despite using simple parts. Maybe we can do something similar with these early learning toys.
The contraptions in my notes? I didn't create those. I simply took the but now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that. Do you have a pen, paper, and scissors? I'll make a paper...
You have an idea already? I suppose I should have expected as much of a respected academia senior... Oh, you're done already.
Ah. Ah bah dis donc, ça me rappelle des choses ce truc. Les tours de Hanoï.
Let me explain. These 3 thick lines represent 3 poles.
Compliqué leur truc, un peu oui. Ah, les tours de Hanoï, ça me rappelle des souvenirs de cours.
These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes. They can be slotted onto the poles and stacked up like...
Well, that is easier to make than I expected.
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower from...
Isn't this a little too simple?
Of course. When moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move one ring at a time, and it's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy...
Pagoda stack.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like...
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anis that you find volunteers to try out the toy.
It's such a simple toy. There's no need to...
Ah non, c'est pas simple, t'inquiète pas, monsieur.
Mandu, let's just do it.
Oh. And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's able to move the...
You called everyone here for such a simple toy?
It doesn't look like it'll take that many steps.
Come on, we all promised
C'est quoi ces gamins arrogants encore?
Toys. He said he'd give us new Genius Invocation TCG cards.
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and done with so we can head back and
Ah
play
oui, ils veulent jouer.
cards.
Oui, mais en même temps, si tu prends des enfants qui veulent pas jouer, ça va être compliqué.
Done. It took me 19 steps.
Huh? It took me over 20 steps.
I only needed 18 steps.
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar with the rules now. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next tower will be 5 layers tall. Now then, give it a shot.
Wait, there's more?
Well, since we're already here,
an extra layer shouldn't make it that much.
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm
almost done. Looks like done. It took me 35 steps.
What? How?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Good. We'll try it one final time.
Bah, finalement, ça
This
leur
time
plaît le
we'll
jeu.
add 2 more layers, making 7 layers in total.
7 étages, mais tu veux les torturer, les pauvres.
Mamdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here.
Do you need that many steps for something this simple? Let me try.
Madam Faruzan, allow me to try it as well.
You were looking
Même
at
les
it quite
adultes veulent y jouer.
seriously just now. Are you starting to understand? If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have to play and find out.
Got it.
We don't have enough paper strips left for you, traveler. However, by the looks of
Oui,
things,
oui, je sais
why
comment jouer,
don't you
t'inquiète pas.
guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is?
Oh là là. Ouais, je dirais
What
108.
a shame. You were close. However, you did well for someone see. Let's see how well they do then.
Ils vont mettre 10 ans, les pauvres.
If I move this small ring,
Elle en pose des questions. Mais oui, je suis en vacances, c'est bon, j'en ai marre de faire des maths.
oh, this is going to take more steps than I expected.
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken.
Ils savent plus combien d'étapes ils en sont.
This got a lot harder.
I solved it.
Sors
Madam
un step.
Faruzan, it's
That many? But there are only 7 layers.
for every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
More accurately, it will require double the steps, plus 1 each time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles. The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has. The way the parts interact and the rules behind how it operates.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be underestimated.
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for Pagoda Stack are the simplest kind when it comes to ancient contraption-making techniques. I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something similar and write you a reference. Once that happens, you can give the volunteers the reference book and paper prototypes and find out which toy is the most...
Do you have any other toys?
Yeah! When can we play with them?
In about 2 days or so, I think. Anise, if you're free, can you help me with the illustrations for...
Of course!
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a huge conference here, at which we can announce which toy we'll be making. You'd be most welcome.
Thank you for coming here with me today.
Ok. Attends 2 jours alors. Il faut aller où? Là en bas.
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. Once everything here is settled, I'll make my way over to Pardistii as quickly. You want to ask why I'm unwilling to join them, yes? Putting aside the fact that they're too full of themselves, I actually have no issue with their research methodologies and approach. After all, knowledge is either right or wrong. Superiority and inferiority do not come into the conversation. All researchers are just no matter what corner of the unknown they shed light on. It's a step forward for us all. Because I believe wholeheartedly in that principle. Even if the others call my research useless, as long as the knowledge I gain from it is accurate, it could become useful in the future. In the end, useful and useless are concepts that shouldn't be used to evaluate knowledge. When I first started deciphering ancient documents, I didn't think about how it'd be useful to Kasharawar. That's why there's no need for me to join them to do useful research. I'd rather stay in Haravatat. It's much more convenient for me to Still, the funding that Kasharawar has offered me is so hard to... Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anissa's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, You're right. If no one understands the reference book, it doesn't matter how detailed. It's better to make it simpler and fun so that children will be interested in the subject. It'll also make it easier for me to recruit students in the long run. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account.
Ouais, je crois que je suis en train d'en avoir marre de l'escapade. Je comprends plus grand chose de ce qu'elle me raconte. Dans 2 jours. C'est parti. C'est une escapade en même temps, oui c'est vrai. En vrai, celle-là elle est bien comparée à celle d'Aizu. Ça faisait un petit moment qu'on avait plus eu d'escapade, mais celle-là elle est bien en vrai. Mais c'est vrai que au bout d'un moment les escapades elles sont un peu longues.
We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have.
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. Let's see what the academia shall say about it.
Waouh, une ambiance animée.
And if we activate this little mechanism, a Sumeru rose will appear at the top of the cane.
Oh, I see.
I thought it came out of thin air. It's amazing.
Moi qui croyais qu'elle sortait nulle
If
part.
the mechanism was bigger, you could make a rabbit appear. Then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat or something?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Not bad. Let's look at the next page. If you fold an origami bird like this, it'll fly further and more stably.
Whoa. You can make a mechanism using just a piece of paper?
The principles at play are even more important than the parts that make...
These are pretty cool. I'm tempted to try them out.
I'm not that interested in toys, but if they'll be beneficial for...
Everyone, we have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can use to make your own toys. Come try them out.
This is such a well-prepared event.
But we want to play...
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototypes and craft materials.
La conférence bat son plein.
Oh, my origami bird.
Professor Faruzan?
Just Madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may wish to pay attention to these few details. Here, for example.
Wow, it really... Madam Faruzan, will we learn origami at the academia?
Of course you will. If you become a researcher, you can explore any field you like to your heart's content.
C'est une chercheuse. Ah oui, elle est en train de recruter des élèves en même temps.
In the future, if you want, you can even become one of my students.
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshans in the academia. Wait, was it 7? Which Darshan teaches about mechanisms in origami?
Well, in this case, it would...
I know. We need to choose Kasharawar.
Huh?
I want to attend Kasharawar in the future and fold even better origami birds.
I want to make even more awesome mechanisms.
Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties too. For example, Haravatat specializes in... How did this happen?
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't like? Does that mean that we won't get to learn about the things we do?
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. I'm a researcher from Haravatat. The only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher is you. It's all right. You still have a long road ahead of you. Let me tell you a story about pressure-based mechanisms and
Oh là là. Elle leur fait un cours. Allez, encore un dernier. toujours la voie du milieu. Hein. Non, celle-là du coup. Pauvre élève.
I'll be going
Ah
then.
là là, j'aimerais
Say
pas
hi to
l'avoir comme
Tainari and
prof.
Kale, a niece. We haven't had much time to get to know each other. She's able to calmly figure out the basic principles behind something without being I'll do my best to teach her over the next few days. Well, her interest lies in the application of mechanism. I do have some old knowledge to share. But if we think about the future, it's easier for her to learn the things she's interested in if she stick my research into mechanisms if she becomes my student to learn how to make modern. However, if I successfully, perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore, I could You're right. Explanations are, by using detailed and accurate illustrations, we can impart knowledge more effectively. It would also make it easier for me to recruit. Thank you. I'll take your...
Allez, on va attendre 2 jours encore. J'adore attendre. Hop. Deux heures, ça fait déjà plus de 2h30 que je suis en live. Ça va vite. Ok, allons-y.
Oh, you're here.
Ouais,
We're
faut
just starting
attendre.
to set up the venue.
On fait que ça, attendre.
We've called up everyone we possibly...
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all.
C'est vrai.
Let's see what the academia
Ah là du
shall
coup,
say about it
c'est
this
la fin
time.
d'Escapade.
To sum up, the 24 forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms
Faut avoir le
used in
temps hein, si tu veux
various
faire une
ruins.
escapade.
All right, let's go to the next page. Now, I'll explain the base layer design of elemental monuments.
J'ai l'impression de suivre un cours.
Are we done yet? Oh, I'm falling asleep.
I don't understand any
Je
of
comprends
it
rien
all.
du tout.
Are these really toys?
They sound a bit too dangerous to
Et
buy
des
for
mouchoirs pour
children.
pleurer. Oh.
Well, we've prepared paper prototypes for everyone. If you're interested in the
Oh, this is no fun. Can I try another?
I want to go home and play Genius Invocation TCG.
Tant pis, les dialogues font 8 km.
Forget it. I don't think anyone would be interested.
I should go home and take care of my children.
Oula, c'est pas un succès là, madame Faruzan.
How did this happen?
I'm sorry. I think we miscalculated.
No, you simply gave suggestions. I was the one who decided to follow through. Anise, I will find a way to make up for this error. Please, give me...
Excuse me, but are you the one who wrote this?
Ah, you're that man mountain who was in the crowd just now.
Cet homme aux muscles saillants, mon dieu.
Do I stand out that much? Well, I guess I don't look like someone who'd have anything to do with toys. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kamal, the
What's the branch master doing here? Were you looking for us, or did something...
I came to Port Ormos to visit some old friends. On the way over, I saw the booklet you were handing out, so I came to take a look. Can you print a few more copies?
What does the Adventurers Guild...
You may see them as toys, but to adventurers who need to deal with all sorts of machines, we have many, even
Ah bah
if...
finalement ça va être utile pour les aventuriers.
It might be a bit too difficult for children, but it's perfect for adventurers. Also, those papers, if you can make wooden versions for demonstration purposes, even the most, if we can supply...
You really think so?
Making models of contraption?
We'll probably have to send in a separate application, but it shouldn't be. After all, this concerns safety during the exploration of ruins.
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss it. This...
Quand il parle d'argent... Et voilà, on a fini l'escapade de Faruzan. Et ben, c'était sympa. Bon, un peu long à force, mais c'était sympa. Du coup, que faire maintenant? On va aller faire de la vocation des 7 un peu. Oui, il y a pire comme escapade. Franchement, l'histoire est intéressante sur cette escapade. Et puis on en a appris beaucoup sur Faruzan. Comme Faruzan on l'avait jamais croisé avant, on a appris beaucoup de choses, c'est intéressant. Voilà, on va faire un peu d'invocation des 7. Oula, il y a du monde ici. Alors, on va inviter quelqu'un. Qui allons-nous inviter? Oula, pas beaucoup. Oui, il y a du monde. Niveau, comment on voit le niveau déjà? Toi. Je suis du succès. Là, niveau de joueur. Niveau 5 de joueur. Voilà. En vrai, j'ai un peu abandonné ce mode de jeu, alors que je préfère ça au... Après, j'ai pas vraiment le temps. Avec les cours et tout. Mais franchement, je préfère faire ça, de l'invocation des 7 plutôt que des... bah, je sais plus ce que je voulais dire. Je préfère l'invocation des 7 plutôt que les abysses, voilà, c'est ça. Les abysses, bof. Vas-y, on va inviter Tainari, j'ai pas encore de carte d'Endro. Ce serait sympa à voir. Ah oui, non mais c'est beau. Moi je préfère ça. Bon choix. Bah écoute, il me faut un personnage d'Endro. Autant. C'est le seul élément que j'ai pas en
All right,
carte.
let's play a game.
C'est parti. Donc. Alors il faut que je me remette dedans. Ok. Ah, il y a Sino, Kolei et Tainari du coup.
Let's
go. Ok.
You stand condemned.
À votre tour. Mhm.
Can't see?
Que faire? Oh, franchement, je sais rien. Si peut-être changer de personnage.
Ready when you are.
Mais Timaeus. Ah oui, il fait quoi Timaeus en fait? J'ai pas compris. Ah, ok. En effet, il pète bien. Bah, du coup, là, je peux plus jouer. Donc fin de manche. D'accord, ouais, oui. Ça va, il est pas mal. Ok. Ah oui, en effet, ça baisse beaucoup le coût. Vas-y, on attaque. Oh, on lui a fait mal quand même. Ok. Vas-y, on change de perso, puis on va passer notre tour. Vas-y, fin de manche. Je peux plus rien faire. Ok. On a pas mal de pyro, pas mal d'électro aussi. On a 2 Noël. Ouais. Pour l'instant, on va attaquer. Et après, on va switch sur Diluc. Vas-y, Noël. Où j'en ai 2, je peux utiliser.
Let's finish this swiftly.
Est-ce que ça vaut vraiment le coup? 3 dégâts et la 2. Ça utilise le même nombre, donc on s'en fiche un peu.
This is getting interesting.
Ouais, plus de Tainari. Ouh, elle fait mal collègue. Ah si, je peux encore l'attaquer avec ça. Je pense que mon dieu qui va y passer. Ouais, elle est vénère collègue. Hein. Ouais, rive Diluc. On va mettre... Ouais, Kazuo.
Hey, Fluffhead. Did you zone out again?
L'empoté, pardon. D'où il me parle comme ça, lui? Retour, je voudrais... Voilà, fin de manche. Mais j'ai rien d'intéressant, c'est fou ça. Ouais, j'ai beaucoup d'électro. Du coup, je vais aller mettre de l'électro. Hop. Vas-y, Razor, on compte sur toi. Fallait pas, hein. Adieu collègue.
Huh. I might have underestimated you.
Je vous ai peut-être sous-estimé. Oui. Sûrement.
Nowhere to run.
Vas-y, on change. Parce que Razor il est presque mort et j'ai rien pour me soigner. Ah bah il y avait une femme manche, ok. Bon, il ne reste plus que Sino. C'est le tour combien? Manche 5, ok. Bah du coup non, Pyro ça sert plus à rien. Ouais. Ouh, il fait mal. Ça va, je me soigne. Ah, il fait mal, il fait mal. Ça peut être pas mal. Vas-y. Allez, on lui fait mal. Ouais, il fait mal, Sino. Oh, il annonce à la fin de manche. Ah bah je peux gagner. Genre, toi... Non, attends, voilà. T'aider Omni. Voilà, on a gagné.
In death, a new cycle begins.
Voilà, du coup on a gagné Sino. Sino, Tainari, pardon. Et ça. Ok, bah nickel. Du coup je vais refaire mon deck avec du Dendro.
Not bad. You've improved very quickly.
Vous vous améliorez vite. Eh oui. C'est la première fois qu'on se bat mais je m'améliore vite. La meilleure carte du jeu. Franchement c'est une bonne surprise hein, le JCJ sur Genshin. Donc on va mettre Tainari hein, bien sûr. Et du coup là je vais mettre... on va mettre Diluc pour faire de la brûlure. Mais j'ai pas d'hydro donc... Fischl ou Razor? C'est qui le mieux en vrai? Je sais pas. Fischl. Fischl trop forte, oui. Donc j'ai du Dendro, donc on va mettre du Dendro. Electro, Pyro. Teneri, Fischl et Collei. Ah d'accord, ok. Bah, je l'ai pas collé encore, mais... donc, il faut mettre un arc pour Fischl. Ensuite, Dilux et les grosses épées. C'est une bonne équipe. Bah oui, si t'arrives à jouer... Ah oui, mais l'arc c'est pas que pour Fischl, c'est aussi pour Tainari. Ok, donc les armes, on a tout. Pour ça, il nous faut... Non, c'est pas du Dendro, ça, non. Qu'est-ce que je fais? Oui, ça, c'est pas du... C'est du Dendro, ça? Non, c'est de l'Anemo. C'est bien ce que je me disais. Ça, c'est du Dendro, je crois. Ouais, Dendro. Du coup, il nous faut du Pyro. Et de l'électro. Ça, c'est pratique. Paymon aussi, elle est pratique. Attends, ça, c'est quoi? Ouais. Ça, c'est le soin. Ouais, le soin, ça, je prends. Catherine, elle fait quoi, déjà? Timaeus, ça, je prends. Mais en fait, ça, c'est Timaeus, mais pour les armes. Wagner. Ouais, c'est comme Timaeus, mais pour les armes. Ouais, c'est ça. Toi, tu fais quoi? Ouais, ça peut être bien, ça. T'es Omni. Par contre, la Paymon, là, elle fait quoi, celle-là? Oui, ça peut être bien. Ça, je l'utilise tout le temps. Permet de relancer les dés élémentaires, mais c'est génial. Pioche de cartes, ça peut toujours être utile. Ça aussi, je le prends. Mona. Accorde une charge au personnage actif actuel. Ah oui, en effet, ça peut être bien. Oui, des plats. Soit le personnage choisi pour 1 point. Ouais. 2 points. Ça augmente les attaques. Bah, de toute façon, je vais prendre tous les plats. Ah, je peux pas prendre tous les plats. Ah, j'ai plus de place. Bah, on va prendre le plat qui nous soigne. Ouais, non. C'est tout, je peux plus rien ajouter. Ouais, non. Ok, bah, j'ai mon deck. Non, le nom du deck, je m'en fous. Apparence du deck. D'autres cartes, on va prendre. Celui-là pour l'instant pour changer un peu. On va faire pas mal de decks en vrai. Vas-y, on va inviter un nouveau perso. En vrai, pourquoi pas inviter... Pourquoi il est verrouillé lui? Ah, niveau 7, ok. Ah si, mais ils en ont rajouté, je crois. À chaque mise à jour, ils en rajoutent. Ils le disent pas, mais ils en rajoutent à chaque mise à jour, je crois. Donc oui, il y en a beaucoup. Vas-y, on va les faire enlever les pattes d'Iona. Parce qu'elle soigne, pas de bien. Ah ouais, ils en rajoutent à chaque mise à jour. Ils ne le disent pas, mais ils en rajoutent.
Looking for a challenge,
Ouais, c'est bien celui-là qu'il faut.
Looking for a challenge,
Oui, je suis prêt, allons-y. Ben, t'as une
Let's go
hein.
gather some samples.
Du coup, on va mettre Timmy tout de suite. Comme ça, c'est fait. On va switcher sur Duke après. Ça fait le même nombre de dégâts. Vas-y.
Can't see?
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? D'accord. Vas-y, dis-lui cuisant.
Let's finish this swiftly.
Ah mais elle joue 50 000 cartes, Diona. En vrai go. Quoi, j'ai plus rien à faire. bah j'ai eu Timaeus, nickel. Vas-y Timaeus. Et oui, oh là là, elle a utilisé 4 cartes.
Give up.
Ah non, là je peux plus rien faire. Je peux changer de perso, mais ça servira à rien. Oh vas-y,
The threads of your
oh là
fate
là.
lie in my hands.
Ok, donc ils prennent Bennett. On va mettre ça. Hop. Ouais. Au retour. Du coup, l'arc, je le donne plus à Tainari ou à Fischl? Je le donnerai à Tainari, non? Celui que je joue le plus. Bah, justement, je sais pas qui je joue le plus. C'est ça le problème. Bon, vas-y, Tainari pour l'instant, on verra. Vas-y, on le donne à Tainari, on verra. Hop. Vas-y, on va invoquer Oz.
By royal decree. Out of the way.
Ouais, mais il fait mal Bennett. Et il se soigne en plus.
Let's finish this swiftly.
Je peux plus rien faire. Bon, si je le termine en moins de 6 tours, c'est un miracle. Hein. Il y a 2 boucliers en plus Bennett, mais non mais c'est abusé hein. Ah, j'espère que ça ira. Donc la grosse épée. Non, pas tout de suite. Vas-y. On lui fait 5 de dégâts la Bennett. Ok, donc c'est Jonah qui a le bouclier maintenant. Génial. Ah, ils font mal. Vas-y. Vas-y, attaque. Ah, quand on fait brûler, on a ça. D'accord. Intéressant. Vas-y, fin de manche. Ça en soigne Diluc en même temps. Ah, elle fait mal. Non, bah voilà, adieu Diluc. Le pauvre.
There's more where that came from.
Rip Diluc. Bon, du coup, mon Tainari, il est à fond au niveau... PV. J'ai rien en dendro, mais c'est abusé. Hein. Bon, vas-y, on le tue là.
Couldn't break.
Ouch! No way!
J'ai aucune arme artefact, non, c'est fou ça.
Look at you, Boozehound.
Ok, donc maintenant ils peuvent se soigner, génial. Ouais. Vas-y, tourne, mais... On attaque Diona. Ok. Et donnez-moi des dés. Ouais, là en vrai je suis bien. C'est juste les dés, ils ont du mal à me donner ce que je veux. Ok. Tiens Fischl, tu n'as pas... Tu n'as rien. Vas-y. Ulti, c'est parti.
I'll never admit defeat. I'm a rock.
Ok. Du coup, non, toi. Et voilà. Oui, mais c'est bon, j'ai gagné. Pas besoin de Paymon. Oh, je l'ai fini en moins de 6 tours. De justesse. Bon, Diona, je pense pas la mettre dans mon équipe, mais bon. Le but, c'est de collecter toutes les cartes.
For you.
J'ai eu des succès de ce que j'ai pas mis. Succès. Ok. Je vais aller voir ce que je peux acheter. Ouais, du coup, il y a des nouvelles cartes. Des nouvelles illustrations dynamiques. Ah, on en a une pour Tainari. Attends, vas-y, je veux voir Tainari si elle est bien son illustration dynamique. Ah ouais, non, mais elle est stylée. Bon, en vrai, Invocation des 7, c'est beaucoup, tu joues les persos que tu veux. Il y a un peu de... Comment dire? De stratégie, mais c'est surtout ça, hein, tu joues un peu les persos que tu veux. Genre lui, tu l'aimes bien, bah tu te joues. C'est un peu ça. Fischl. Ouais, non, mais c'est stylé, hein. Il est toujours beau de toute façon, mais ils sont tous beaux, regarde Ayato. Oh là là, mais Ayato, il est vraiment stylé, je trouve. Oh là là. J'adore Ayato. Ouais, non. Ouais, du coup, je vais t'acheter ça déjà. Alors, qu'est-ce que je peux m'acheter comme carte? Carte d'équipement. Non, en vrai, j'ai tout ce qu'il faut. Ah oui, oui, non, ils sont tous du flow. Peut-être acheter un deuxième Timeus, non? Ça peut être bien. Quoique, non, en vrai, ça servira à rien. En vrai, avoir toutes ces cartes en double, ça sert à rien. Ouais, autant acheter ça, les... Alors... Donc il faut le dendro. Vas-y, j'achète ça. Acheter un seul pour l'instant. Je vais en acheter un de chaque. En vrai, je sais pas quoi acheter. Hein. Bah, en vrai, je m'en... Oui, je sais que c'est important les artefacts et les armes, mais en vrai, des artefacts, j'en ai pas souvent, parce que j'en ai pas beaucoup encore. Donc pour l'instant, je vais plutôt acheter des artefacts. Puis on verra par la suite. Oh voilà, j'ai plus de sous. Petite carte de personnage, ok. Et terminer un total de 40 objectifs. Contre les joueurs du monde ouvert. Ouais, c'est long ça. Ok, alors. On va aller rajouter les artefacts. Ah non, on peut plus en rajouter, c'est chiant. Attends, je vais enlever tout. Toi, je vais t'enlever. Non. Voilà. Ça, on en met deux comme ça. Qu'est-ce que je... Peut-être cette Paymon là en vrai. Et qui enlever? Voilà. Mon deck il est bien. Mais genre, on est limité à 34 ou quand on monte de niveau, on peut avoir plus de cartes dans notre deck? Parce qu'en vrai, c'est pas beaucoup 30 cartes. Hein. Je trouve ça très peu 30. Et j'ai jamais vraiment fait gaffe si ça augmentait ou pas. C'est 30, ok, bah c'est pas beaucoup. Mais bon, faut faire avec. Oui, c'est très peu. Vas-y, un dernier perso, on va faire... Vas-y, Ayato, parce qu'il a du flow. Bonjour Ayato, allons-y. Ayato, Ayaka et Bennett. Ok. Cool, hop. Voilà.
I'll lead the way.
Bah ça commence bien. Bon ça va, j'ai pas mal de dendro. Donc vas-y, on va mettre Timaeus d'abord. Ça affiche tout de suite son truc. Ouais, on va peut-être faire des dés à laquer parce que bon.
Can't see?
On peut pas mettre Timaeus. Timaeus, c'est lui Timaeus, c'est pas... c'est Wagner. Vas-y, on va changer. Et on va mettre Timaeus, je pense. Timaeus, Wagner. Fou, j'en peux plus. Il y a trop de persos. D'accord, d'accord. Ouais, non, en fait, je peux pas. J'ai pas assez de... On a pas mal de dendro encore une fois. C'est bien. Donc toi, je peux te mettre. Voilà. Et hop. Ouais, là, cette fois, j'ai de bons lancers. Je suis assez chance. Sans vouloir me vanter. On va peut-être revenir sur... Pas quoique, non, peut-être pas revenir sur Tainari. Je sais pas quoi faire, là. Ah, salut Océane. Ah oui, le film, il est terminé. T'es dans le bus, là? Ouais, t'es dans le bus. Alors, il était bien le film? Ouais, non mais le film Mario, moi aussi j'ai bien aimé. Et t'es resté jusqu'à la fin ou pas? Surtout la chanson, oui. Bon, après, essaye de pas trop en parler ici. du film parce que peut-être qu'il y a des gens qui l'ont pas vu. Et puis les gens qui regardent la rediff sur YouTube, parce que je sais qu'il y en a. Peut-être qu'ils ont pas vu le film et donc ils ont pas envie d'être spoilés non plus. On était les seuls à rester. Bah oui, mais non, il faut toujours rester après le générique.
Let's go gather some samples.
Ouais, on en parlera quand tu seras rentré. Non, du coup, ça c'est mieux. Non, ça applique pas. Ok.
One with the force.
Oui, non, mais on dit rien. Juste, tu seras pas déçu si t'aimes bien Mario. Ouais, non, mais il faut rester jusqu'à la fin du générique tout le temps, hein, chaque film. Est-ce que je peux? Non, on peut pas. Vas-y, on va soigner. Et bah, fin de manche, hein, du coup. Bah non, je vais peut-être changer. Hop, pour éviter de mourir. Ah, j'aurais pas dû. Oh non, après je vais switcher sur Duke. Ouais. Comme ça, il va pouvoir être soigné. Ouais, non, mais il y a du monde. Le film Mario, il y a beaucoup de monde qui veulent le voir. Donc, il est toujours blindé le cinéma. Ça devrait être obligatoire. Ouais, c'est ça. Non, mais surtout dans le cinéma, quand il y a générique, ils allument les lumières. Sauf qu'il y a un truc après générique. T'es déjà craqué, t'es déjà plein à craquer plutôt. 1 heure avant. Ah ouais. C'est fou ça. Une heure avant le film, il y avait déjà plein de monde. Il l'avait déjà ouverte avant 1 heure avant? Ou ils étaient en train de faire la queue? Ouais, il va mettre Catherine. Ah ouais, non mais tout le monde est arrivé 1 heure à l'avance pour regarder le film. Non mais par contre les gens des fois ils abusent un peu. Ouais, bah après nous c'est une petite ville, hein. C'est pas une très grande ville, mais bon, comme c'est le seul cinéma du coin, bah du coup il y a tous les petits villages aux alentours. Du coup ça fait du monde.
Let's go gather some samples. I hear everything.
Et moins cher, ouais, c'est aussi le cinéma le moins cher du coin aussi.
Well played.
C'est surtout ça, ouais, c'est le moins cher. Ça va se battre pour notre place. Et surtout que le film Mario, il y a tout âge. Hein. C'est ça aussi le truc. C'est qu'il n'y a pas que des vieux, il n'y a pas que des jeunes, non, il y a tout âge. Ah, t'as eu de la chance alors. J'avais trouvé 4 places côte à côte, c'était les seuls. Ouais, aussi j'ai beaucoup de chance. Vas-y.
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
Hop. On a votre pause du coup. Bon. Ça va, on est trois. Ouais, bah. Ça devrait aller, j'espère pour vous que vous trouvez une place. Ça va, c'est au milieu. Bah, ça va, vous avez une bonne place.
Oh, interesting move.
Ouais, franchement, vous avez de la chance. Hein. Pas comme Avatar, quand on a été le voir, il n'y avait aucune place côte à côte. On était deux, il restait deux places, et les places elles étaient à l'opposé. Une horreur, franchement. Ça. Ouais, horrible. Et ça va, cette fois, il n'y avait pas des gens qui venaient au cinéma mais qui regardaient pas le film, qui étaient sur leur téléphone. T'en as pas vu? Parce que pour Avatar, il y en avait plein. Ah oui, non mais quelle horreur, c'est ça. Non, mais c'est... Ah voilà, j'ai gagné. Du coup, j'ai gagné Ayato.
Dear me. It seems you have a finer grasp of the details than I.
Il y avait un petit qui dansait, ouais. Ok, bah à tout de suite. De toute façon, je vais arrêter le live. Ouais, j'ai déjà 3h30 de live. C'est bien, je crois. Hop. Bah voilà. Donc, écran demain. J'y vais avec mes petits frères. Si je suis pas avec... Ah oui. Ouais, avec des plus petits, ouais. C'est vrai. Être avec des plus petits, c'est plus compliqué de pas avoir de place côte à côte. En espérant que t'en trouves une. Voilà. Même si c'est un mystère pour personne, bah oui. Oui, c'est un bon film, t'inquiète pas. Bon bah voilà. Et ben, merci d'être passé sur le live du coup. J'espère qu'il vous a plu. Hein. Un petit live comme ça, à l'improviste. C'était pas du tout prévu, mais voilà. Donc on se retrouve demain. Ça m'étonnerait que je fasse un live. Si j'en fais un, tant mieux. Mais ça m'étonnerait. Mercredi, on fait la quête de Naïda. Ouais, faut y aller tôt. Et je croise les doigts aussi pour toi. Donc du coup programme, mercredi on fait la quête de Naïda. Ensuite après mercredi, genre jeudi ou vendredi, je ferai peut-être un live si j'ai le temps. Ouais, un petit live qui a duré plus de 3 heures, c'est ça. Non mais c'est pas souvent, là c'est les vacances. Voilà. On se laisse aller un peu. Donc voilà, mercredi on fait la quête de Naïda, jeudi, vendredi peut-être que je ferai un live, c'est pas sûr. Et samedi, on va commencer The Quarry ou Life is Strange. Je ne sais pas lequel encore, j'arrive pas à me décider. Donc voilà. Donc j'espère que mercredi j'aurai décidé si je ferai The Quarry ou Life is Strange True Color. Voilà, bah merci d'être passé sur le live. Merci Anna d'être passée. Et merci à Océane même si elle est plus là. Et puis je vous dis... à plus, hein, du coup, et bon film à toi demain, et bon courage. Allez, salut! Ah oui, c'est les vacances, on profite, on se repose. Bon, allez. Salut, bonne soirée!